Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. There we go. Check, check. Oh, was having some difficulty there. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Now we're cooking with grease. Was having some difficulties with the feed there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Good morning, Michael, Ruben, uh, Impress. Good morning to you. And we got a couple of other people. Good morning, Big Dog. Good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning, Queen. Good to have you as well. We're actually live right now. We're live right now. The phone numbers are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Queen, I want to ask a question this morning. And it's very simple. We're gonna start off real simple this morning. And the phone lines are open. Please give us a call. We definitely love to hear from each and every one of you. I'm asking a very simple question. Do we all now listen to me now? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Do we all cheat in some kind of ways? And as we go through this thing, if it's not like in a relationship or whatever, do we all cheat in some kind of way? Because I had a discussion with somebody, and they were saying that everybody cheat. They say everybody cheat in some kind of way. Is that true? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? If it's on our taxes, if it's whatever it is, in a game of cards or whatever it is. Okay, that came through a little better that time, much better. Is it Queen says no. Queen, come on now. You never played card. You never played spades. If you're a spade player, you never played spades and talked across the board. That's cheating. You never played in any sports or whatever. Queen said no, no. Queen, give me a call. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You never been in a relationship and told somebody that you was going somewhere and you ended up somewhere else, intentionally ended up somewhere else. Is that not cheating? There's so many different ways that people could cheat outside. See, when people say cheating, the first thing they think about in a relationship, oh, you was with this person and you laid down or you went out with this person or blah blah blah. That's the first thing people think about. But is that the only way that people could cheat? There's a lot of different ways. And again, give me a call. Let's talk about this thing. 508-924-3521. We're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna transition over to another topic. I do think I do think about that. Yeah, well, that's just what it is. Sometimes people say it's human nature. Whether you go through with it or whether you are, and let's take another direction with this thing. Some people say, and some people say this. They say, "So a man thinketh, so if he." So they say, if you think about laying down with the person, even if you don't do it, they say if you thought it in your mind, then technically you've already sinned. Ain't that what the Bible say? The Bible say if you think it in your mind, you've already done it. So, and some people take that and run with it. They say, well, if I've already done it, if I've already committed it, I might as well go ahead and do it. I might as well go. Yeah, yeah, that's what you think now. Is To me, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. Um, Thinking about it and actually doing it is one. If you think about it, that's in your mind. That's something for you. That's in your mind. Can't nobody get into your mind unless you tell them. Can't nobody get into your mind and tell what you're thinking. But if you actually go through with the act of doing it, if you actually say, think about cheating with somebody, and then you go and perform that act of cheating with that person, Now that's a, to me, that's more of a problem, because you've actually done it. You've actually committed the act of doing it. And because of the fact that you've committed the act of doing it, now there's a deeper issue. Now you got to deal with it. Now you got to deal with the person. And how do you look in a person's eyes that you're with, and have to explain to them that you cheated, that you stepped outside of the relationship with somebody else? That weighs a whole lot, because now the person that you cheated on, the person that you're thinking of, they could think that they're inadequate. Why did you have to go out and be with somebody else? Was I not enough for you? And it's all kind of things that open up with this cheating thing. Was I not enough for you? A person to think that. Ladies, y'all from time to time, y'all carry this thing a lot heavier and a lot deeper than we do. Y'all carry it a lot deeper than we do. Because y'all think that way. If your man go out there and cheat with you, cool, baby, I should be able to. Okay, good deal. If your man go out there and cheat on you, it hurts us. It hurts us if y'all cheat on us. It does. We try to play that little macho thing. Oh man, I ain't worried about it. Yes, it is something, bro. You can play that game all you want to, but it does hurt. It hurt. It stings. It stings. It really does. But I know that ladies carry it deeper, because the way their DNA is set up, the way I say it that way, the way that their DNA is set up, um, they start to feel inadequate. They start to feel a little inadequate, like I wasn't good enough. We didn't love each other. All kind of things y'all think about in y'all mind, man, and it's not good. It's not good. But at the same time, a lot of time, but let me say it this way: a lot of time, a person will cheat because they're just cheaters. You could be the best thing since sliced bread. You could be the best thing in created, but if a cheater is going to cheat because he or she is a cheater, it doesn't take anything away from who you are, doesn't take away from how beautiful you are, doesn't take how amazing you are. None of that. None of that. A cheater is going to cheat. If you just happen to get with somebody that is a cheater, if you happen to get with somebody that's a cheater, that's what you got. You have a cheater. And when they step outside and they cheat, it sounds a little muffled to me this morning. How does it sound to you all? Does it sound muffled? Is it clear? Because if it's not clear, I like to put out the best product that I possibly can. So if whatever if for whatever reason it's not clear or it's grainy or whatever, please let me know, because I did some things on it yesterday, and I may have tweaked some things wrong. So if it doesn't sound clear to you all, please let me know. Reading a couple of things here. Okay, but yeah, that's what it is, man. If a cheater's gonna be a cheater because they are cheaters, and so don't take that to your heart. But what you need to do is evaluate yourself as to whether or not you want to stay with that person, because the old saying is, once a cheater, always a cheater. Now I don't know how true that is. Um, Sometimes I've seen different situations where a person could cheat and be feel bad behind the cheating, feel bad because of the fact that they did cheat. They could feel terrible and never do it again, never cheat again. Then other situations I've seen a cheater being a cheater because they are a cheater, as I said earlier, and they continue. They don't care how you feel about it. They don't care that you're hurt behind it. It don't make a difference to them. They are cheaters. They're gonna see something that they like and they're gonna go try to get with it. That's what it is. If it hurts you in the process, oh well. Oh well. It's almost like a snake saying, you made me your pet, but you knew I was a snake. So when I bite you, you should have known that eventually you was gonna get bitten, because that's what snakes do. That's what cheaters do. They cheat. And so if you happen to be involved in a relationship with a cheater, don't take it personal. That's who you picked. You picked the cheater. And so because of the fact that you picked the cheater, that person is going to cheat on you. He's gonna cheat on the next person to get he or she get with, and they're going to continue to do that until something happened to them and they realize the error in their ways. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Have you yourself and if you want to call in, and sometimes people don't like doing this right here because they don't want to put themselves out there, use an alias name. use an alias name if you're calling. Use an alias name. Change your voice. But have you ever cheated? Have you ever been a cheater, or have you ever been cheated on? 508-924-3521. What was that feeling like to you? If you were the one that was actually cheated on and you trusted the person that you was with, what did that do to you? Did it make you look at relationships differently? Did it make you gauge people differently? What did it do? What was the result of that? Hopefully you did not stay in that relationship, because dress it up like you want to, that's an abusive relationship. If someone is cheating on you, that too is an abusive. It's almost like they hit you. Like they hit you. I pause for a second because some people say, well, cheating and abuse is two different things. Well, you abuse the person by cheating on them because they entrusted you. They trusted you to be the person that they thought that you were, and that you would do the right thing, and that you would treat them in an honorable way, and you would not go out there and cheat on them. They trusted you to not cheat, but when you decide to do it, and when you decide to go out there and cheat on them, then in a roundabout way, I feel as though you cheated on them. I mean, you abused them. What do you say? 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from you. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Is that true? Is that factual? Love to hear from you. Give me a call. Oh, hold on, I'm multitasking. Am I off base in the way that I'm thinking right now? Am I off base? Am I off centered in thinking that once a cheater, always a cheater? Am I off base? And when I say we got a caller here, let me see who we got. Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm okay. Lord have mercy. You so. I listened to the last part of your comments,
Mm-hmm.
and so now you got us all continuously being cheaters.
Well, what old people used to tell me all the time. I heard many old people
Mm,
say this: once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you buy into that, Tucson? Do you believe that?
I don't believe it, and I hear it said.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes everybody that ever cheated still a cheater.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that ain't true. Is that true? I don't know. I don't go behind people and watch them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I know that might as well. Here you go making the confession, opening up the confession book, and I might as well go ahead and confess
There you go.
to the things that I have done wrong in my life.
Let's
There
talk
it
about it.
is.
Let's talk about it.
So now here's the thing. It depends on how you look at it. I'm not trying to defend my actions or not, but if his sometimes you think a person has cheated and they just move on. You just
Mm.
ain't accepted it.
Well, shouldn't there
You
be
ever you ever
shouldn't there be some kind of a conversation though? Shouldn't there be some kind of dialogue?
sure,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
sure, it is. But sometimes the person that you're dialoguing with don't believe you.
I got you. I got you.
And they decide they're not having it. Ask me.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna let go.
Mm.
Really. You're not. But I
Wow.
will. And it happens to all of us. I'm just saying that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, but to the point that I'm trying to make is that I've been there, done that,
Mm-hmm.
so I can confess and clear me up because it's good for my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Confession. Since you're the high priest today, not you are. You're not the high priest. You're the priest.
I'm the
You
priest.
can't be
Okay.
the high priest.
You can't be the high priest.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Don't do that to
No, you
me.
can't be the high priest.
No, don't you
No,
do me like that. But my thing is,
no.
Tucson, and we got Rico here. I want to hear his intake on this as well. But
Me
my thing,
too.
my we say me too. But my thing is, once a person cheats on you, and say if they feel bad. No, let me switch it up. Let me say it like this. I'm gonna go biblical for a second. It says somewhere I read where it says, "So a man thinketh, so is he." So if a person think about cheating on you, or they look at somebody in lust and think about that, they say, "Ooh, we," or whatever they say, "Ooh," how to go. Now they say, "So a man thinketh, so if he," and so some people would say that, "So a man thinketh, so if I thought about it, it means I've already committed the act of sin. I might as well go ahead on and go through with it. If I'm gonna be charged with it anyway, I might as well go ahead and do it."
That's a cop out. That's a cop out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cop out. Now, if you look at a woman to lust after her, I didn't say it is it, man. You have committed that act.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know how you say, "Boy, if I was 20 years younger,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you probably have a heart attack too, but you don't already do." Now,
why the
if
man
you
gotta have a
look
heart
and
attack?
turn
Hold
your
on,
head,
Tucson. Why the man gotta have a heart attack though? 20 years younger, he might be in shape.
Puerto Rico, because I'm gonna say he taking them blue pills.
Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Just enjoying a beautiful new day, man. Stay thankful and happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Rico, we got a conversation going this morning. Is my volume seems like it's going up and down? Does it go? Can y'all hear that?
No, it's good to me. I'm on the phone, but it sounds straight to me.
Okay, good. Once a cheater, always a cheater, Rico. Well, let me, and I gotta be fair to Tucson. I gotta go back to him after you, and I'm gonna start it off exactly where I started. Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Is the where I started with this conversation. What do you say to that? Do we all cheat in some kind of way?
Now remember, if you don't get your programming from Goldstein, while we're all losing money, you know that show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He does. That's the show right there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know we're not all cheaters, you know, but if I guess if you go by the scripture, you know, if you going from that aspect of it, of just the thought of it, then you know, I guess maybe we all could be cheaters, and it might not just be in a relationship, but it might be in a way of where you try to manipulate money out of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you know, cheating can go in so many different directions, but when you start talking about it in the aspect of relationships, nah, we're not all cheaters, because some people know when they get into a relationship the meaning behind it and the reason behind it. They don't want to, what you were saying yesterday, waste our time or waste their time.
Yeah.
So they ain't gonna play those games. You know, they in it for the long haul. So they may be selected because they've been cheated on before. Or maybe they cheated before and they realized, you know what, I moved too fast. I thought I was ready for a relationship, but I wasn't ready. But you know, I don't think everybody. I don't believe everybody are cheaters at all. Now, I can't see that being, you know, something that we could just throw out there like that everybody will cheat.
Okay.
Or has cheated.
Now, I said this when I was opening up this morning. I put this point out there as well, and I want y'all to tackle this too. When a person when somebody says cheating, the first thing that goes to a person's mind is a relationship, sleeping with somebody else. But there's a lot of different ways people could cheat. If we sitting there, we playing spades, and you cuff a card or something like that, and then you play it back again, that's cheating. You know, there's so many different levels to cheating. It's not, see, a lot of times when we say cheating, we think immediately our mind goes to relationship. But what about in other aspects of your life? Are we all cheaters? Rico?
I still wouldn't say we are all cheaters, you know, because you have some people that really try to do everything in a fair way. So, you know, and when you're cheating, you can't be fair. You're denying somebody an opportunity to maybe do the same thing or to expect the same treatment. You know, so now I don't believe everybody cheats. You know what I'm saying? But now, to a certain extent, when you have biases in favor, you may be cheating slightly. You know, it depends on, like I said, the way you look at it and what's at stake. It's something that's being gained, it's being lost. You know, if it's just a matter of you making a decision of preference, then I don't think you'd be cheating. But if you are actually causing somebody to lose, or you're just creating a extra benefit for you to have leverage to gain or have an advantage, yeah, you cheat.
Tucson, what do you say to that? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? In some kind of way, do we all cheat?
I was going to say, can't say that. I was going to put it out there to the point where when you get, I'm going to do that. I guess, not everybody. No. Now, I know that everybody looks, because I got eyes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You hear, and you can tell when somebody's saying some things that are really inappropriate. Now, whether you're gonna yield to that, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you know it or not, or I'm willing to accept it or not, you ain't the only one that your wife or your girlfriend or your spouse or however you want to feel or significant other looks good to.
Wait a minute.
And
wait a
I'm
minute.
I'm just telling you. You might as well wake up and smell the coffee.
Wait
So somebody's gonna pass by them and say, Now they can keep moving. I'll say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. There are some people that if their spouse, significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, go to grabbing their phone, it's all over.
Counsel it.
That's why I don't fool with nobody's phone but mine. I don't even want to know. Call who you want to, talk to who you want to, email, text. I ain't checking it.
In some situations, could that be a line of defense where you're defending your feelings or whatever?
That's an attempt to trust.
Okay.
That's an attempt to trust. I trust you enough to leave your stuff alone. Now, whether you gonna do what you're gonna do, it's up to you. I can't control that anyway. Anybody that thinks they can, something is kind of like misguided right there.
Okay.
But everybody that has somebody should realize that you're not the only one that's attracted to that person. Now, whether their response may cause them to unknowingly cheat or not. You know, like they say, that's my work husband. I wish you would.
Wow. Okay. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let us know what you think about this whole cheating thing. Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Is there some kind of way that we all cheat? If it's not even in a relationship, is it in the way that we do things? Is the way that we interact with people? Rico, explain it to me, brother. Make it plain to me. Do we all cheat in some kind of way?
Once again, I don't really think we all do cheat in some type of way, but then if it is in the most subtle way, it may be the fact that we could be actually cheating ours like some people cheat their children out of a healthy childhood.
Okay.
Some people cheat their spouses out of the opportunity to have quality time. I mean, you think about it with Martin Luther King Jr. Out of all the great things he did, to a certain extent, he cheated his family out of the opportunity to have a normal life.
Yeah.
Because he stuck his neck out on the line for society, for mankind. So there is a situation where we cheat people out of things that they deserve, and we might even cheat ourselves out of a situation because of the sacrifices we make for others. for the
Mm-hmm.
benefit of others, the benefit of mankind. So, when I look at it like that, yeah, to be honest with you, everybody does cheat to a certain extent. A lot of people really cheat themselves out of things that they could do for themselves. Times that people could really be selfish and say, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
man, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this for me, and they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they cheating themselves out of whatever opportunity that they could have or experience that they could have, whether it's good or bad. The
Good
desire
God.
to have that opportunity, they sacrifice it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, like I said, they call it cheating. They may tell somebody, hey man, I cheated myself out of this opportunity to help you do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sacrifice. So I
Exactly.
mean, it depends on how you use it, how you look at it, and how you use the word cheat.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, dear brothers. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Asking a question. Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? What do you say to that, Captain? Do we all cheat in some kind of way?
I cheated this morning, man. I suppose I got 10 reps in. I got 5. I cheated. I
Yeah.
got on my bike. I thought I was going to go at least 20 minutes a day. And if I got a good 10, I was sweating like a Jersey mule. I cheated. Yeah, y'all cheat, man.
Yeah.
Man. That's a rhetorical question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. In a relationship, and we spoke earlier, Captain, about the biblically it said that if a person was to look upon somebody in lust, they've cheated. And then Tucson said it's a cop out, because what happened is they say if you already lusted with someone, then you've cheated. So you might, and then people say, well, if they look at it that way, I might well go ahead on and smash that. I might well go ahead on and do it if I'm already judged. So explain the difference. So a man thinketh, so is he. And if you go out there and actually do it, like what I said, Captain, I say, if don't nobody know what's in your mind. And so if you think it in your mind, is there. That's a thought between you and your mind. But if you actually go out there and partake in the activity, that's a whole different level. Explain that to me, Captain.
Well, that's going to the extreme. The extreme is everything you think.
Mm-hmm.
You guilty of what you think.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, as a man thinking in his heart, so is yes. If you think on a thing, and the very thought of the thing that you think on
Mm-hmm.
drives you in the state of lust.
Yes. Yes.
Listen to me now. Drive you into the state of lust.
Mm-hmm.
You see a little 14-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl. You don't even know she's 15. You think she may be 18. She built like a brick house. You look at her and you say in your mind, man, look at that girl. Find that somebody see, and that's a little girl. But you wrong. You didn't know. You thought it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do this all day long. But if you act on that lust,
Mm-hmm.
when that lust drives you to make an action, meaning I'm going to move on. Hey, what's up, little young girl? Come over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at this woman at the bar. I look at, man, she's fine as all outdoors.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to sit there and drool over it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look, that's lust. And then that lust's going to make me ease over. Yo, what's your number, girl?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. Thank God did he keep our thoughts private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a little extreme, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to think a thing. But when the thing that you think drives you into the lust, then that lust will lead you into a desire that will allow you to now act upon it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
But yeah, we all think the same. But that don't mean it's in our heart. You see it, you look at it, and you keep it moving, man.
Yeah.
That's my.
That's good. That's good. And you see it, you think it, you keep it moving, and you don't act on it. And so, like I said earlier, that's between you and your mind. Can't nobody get into your mind and tell what's in your mind, unless you sit out there, unless you just drooling, like Sherry Shepherd did when Prince came on the show that day. She's all up in it. Now that's a whole different level right there. But Tucson, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Okay, so now here's the deal. Let me just throw this out here for free.
For free.
I can't say this like this, but there's some nasty. I can't say that,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't say it like that. There are some people that expose themselves
Yeah.
all day long.
Mm-hmm.
They get on TikTok. You ever seen the TikToks these days?
Yeah.
They
Yes, sir.
just get in front of the camera and shake that thing like a salpicon
Mm. Good Lord.
right in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't watch yourself, you'll see the video through.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind, because now I don't know about nobody else, but I'm a man now. And I like women. I like a woman.
Yeah.
Used to like women. There's a difference. And when you see, if you don't watch yourself, you'll see the thing and you'll be like, Lord. Instead of saying, now you just nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have to watch yourself. I had to tell one of my relatives, that may be good for you, but your uncle, your daddy, your kinfolk is watching you too.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are men.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
You are. Just, you know how they take a picture. Why do women take a picture with their backside poked out?
Because a lot of times they feel like that's all they got to offer.
Ain't that sad?
Mm-hmm.
But
Sometimes.
if you're not careful, you think it happens. And you say, my.
Mm-hmm.
You put out your church voice.
Come on. Come on.
And before you know it, you know what you say? Lord have mercy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now where you get that from?
Yeah.
So you're thinking it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you
But
think
if you because you got to be careful. I don't know about Cap. When Cap can maybe tell me something different, but you know, some women they come late at church.
Mm-hmm.
And they walk down the aisle
Mm-hmm.
late.
Yeah.
And they stroll down the middle of the aisle and sit down there right at the front seat.
For everybody to see them. Want everybody to see them.
And y'all have to excuse me. If you're not careful, you got to look at the ground because I can't say it like this. I wasn't going to be really. I'm just saying, this happens. This actually happens.
Exactly.
And one lady, and I'm shut up. One lady, she says, I just rub against them to see what they're gonna do. I said, oh, you got a Jezebel spirit.
Mm-hmm.
She called the pastor on me.
Wow.
But that's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She said, I ain't gonna do nothing. I just want to see what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Ain't that something?
Temptation, brother. Temptation is something sometimes. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, he's talking about them teasers, man. Them teasers that they take every opportunity to tease somebody or to tempt somebody. Look at this thing moving up and down like hydraulics in the middle of church.
Mm-hmm.
I had that situation happen one time, man. I thought I was about to catch the Holy Ghost. I mean, I was about to catch it, man. I was a split second away from shout, man. I was a split second away. The one part of my shoulder, the good side of my shoulder had that advantage. He was, man, go ahead and do it, Rico. This is the time you need to change your life. But it was a little small part on my other side of my shoulder that was like, Rico, you know you ain't ready. You know you ain't ready. You know you're going to want to go and smoke a blunt. You know you're going to want to go and get some of this. Man, don't do this, man. Don't make a fool like yourself. But I was like, I can't fight it. I'm feeling to do it. I ain't never felt like this before. And then all of a sudden, I seen this sister stroll up that middle of the aisle, man, and I was like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, Lord.
Everything went out the door. I had tunnel vision at first. And that goes to show you then, man, just how powerful temptation is.
Yeah.
And not only how powerful temptation is, but how weak we are as human beings. See, we're just human.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are visual creatures. We like what we see. I mean, it's hard for us not to eat apples off a tree. They look so delicious.
Wow.
They look so delicious that, man, it's hard to fight that temptation of biting that beautiful red or Granny Smith green apple.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But then the thing about it is even though you might be tempted, you still don't know what it tastes like till you taste it.
Mm-hmm.
See, to me, that's where the problem starts, is when you actually go through with it. I think, I heard you say a couple of times that about, it's so you think it,
Yeah.
and that's for the religious people, I guess, that's pretty cool. I ain't gonna say it's cool, but I can understand that that's the way they look at things, and to me it helps you to avoid going through the consequences of falling for your temptation.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get that will to want to avoid that completely all the way around. But now when I think about the fact that just the thought of it, I mean, me myself personally, there's been times that I did cheat, or times that I thought about cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't go through with it. Now there were times that I did some things that I had never done before, and I finally made a decision to do it. And had I not done it, I wouldn't have known what it felt like, and I felt guilty.
Yeah.
But it was nowhere near the same guilt that I felt just for thinking about it before I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if it takes religion for you to fight that feeling or that temptation from the very beginning, cool. Because I mean, we do need some extra reinforcement at times. What's going on, man? At times when we are in desiring those things,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? We do have to make sure that we try not to go through that feeling of guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's about the fact that you sin or just the fact that you feel guilty about what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could feel guilty without even thinking about the sin. I could just think about the fact that I mistreated somebody.
Wow.
So and that is not a good feeling if you got a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a conscience, then guilt will play a real heavy. It will play some. I ain't gonna say a burden, but it'll mess with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that weight on you. Put that weight on you.
I mean, I'm gonna go along with that, man. I think that you really have to go through the experience to actually for it to be looked at as a sin. But I do respect the fact that people use religion and look at it as being a sin just from the thought. Because if you can look at it that seriously, then maybe you won't have to go through the experience of guilt.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Cap, we all get weak sometimes. Speak on that.
Man, that's human nature. That's human nature. Everything comes out of the womb weak
Mm-hmm.
and grows to strength.
Yes, sir.
That's human nature. You think I'm going to get away? That's why it's so beautiful to understand the nature of God.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how he created man. The Quran says God created man from worthless water. From worthless water. Sperm is worthless.
Mm-hmm.
People don't sit around and entertain the conversation of sperm. Hey, you know what, man? Today, sperm, if you've seen it sitting next beside you at the a movie, oh, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
But we all come from that. And we came from a state of weakness, coming out of our mother's womb, 9 months weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we all have weak. We come into the world weak. But time, training, and our faith in our religious institution take us to a place of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all have times where we get a little buckled at the knee. I have to laugh on this man because that doggone Rico come up with some things. When he used the word hydraulic, I'm in my mind. I'm looking at that backside going up and down like a hydraulic. This man don't know how to paint a visual.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, women always have had the power of persuasion.
Yeah.
That's what the young girls do. They learn early in their young age. Let me walk by these old men. Let me see, can I make them take a look at me? And they purposely do that. That's a game to them.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing that these old dudes ain't playing. The old dudes ain't playing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's all about who we are. When you grow to the strength of anything that you are as a man, no man, I don't know, no man likes to be weak.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe men like to be weak.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always someone, there's somebody. Even, I take great pride being strong because I know who I am. And I know women would come after me to smear my reputation. I'm already on guard. And the Lord is going to always be that one to make my knees start knocking.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Lord, why you bless me with Jezebel there?
Mm-hmm.
Flossie Mae. Why Flossie Mae, Lord?
Mm-hmm.
And you know I like everything Flossie Mae represents. But that's why I got to overcome that. And then if I overcome it, like Brother Rico said, I think it. But man, that's the struggle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't get into the story. And let me take you to, okay, then he had cheated. You think I've been a faithful man all my life? Come on. That's the bottom line. He made a very good point. But when you do it, when you do cheat, you have a conscience and you feel guilty. And it's that guilt that makes you don't do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that very guilt that makes me don't, man, I mean, I was tortured all night. I came home and I've been here, Mom, well, how you doing? How was it? And I just came out from the hotel with Flossie Mae.
Mm-hmm.
And my conscience is kicking my behind.
Yes, sir.
I bet you I ain't gonna see Flossie Mae no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't stand the guilt. And thank God to the Quran says it's called that fire that keeps us awake. And if we didn't have, man, that guilt, oh my God, brother, we would just go crazy into things that we want to do.
Yeah,
So that's my
yeah.
spin on it, dear brother.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. We got Curtis with us. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning, man. Morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Curtis, asking a question. Do we all cheat in some kind of way? What do you say to that?
Yeah, in some kind of way, yeah. I mean, you know, don't the Bible say something about a sinning daughter is a sin indeed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We spoke about that earlier. Absolutely.
Yeah, all of us. Well, you say cheat, I'm gonna use the word sin because in my mind, by saying cheat, we nuking it down to just that one thing. You know what I'm saying? I think we all sin.
But see,
one way or the other.
But see, only thing about it, if we substitute the word sin for cheat, then we open up a whole different thing. So we want to concentrate on the element of cheating right now. Let's keep it as cheating and deal with in that regard.
I mean, we are. It's just like if a woman or a man ain't never physically went there, but if you're a woman, well, in today's world, woman or man, and every time Idris Elba come on the TV, you thinking in your mind how fine he is and how you would enjoy having a moment with him. In my mind,
that's cheating. Yeah. Go ahead.
You know, I don't know, man. I'm not the ambassador on this frame of thought. But, you know, that's just where I stand.
Good deal. Good deal. Tucson, talk to me, brother. We're going to switch up and go to something else in just a minute, but talk to me, Tucson. Tucson, you there?
Yeah. So you say what now?
No. I'm just saying, you have anything on your mind? We're going to go to something else. We're going to switch up topics and go to something else. But what's on your heart right now?
No, I think we didn't have. If you honest, then one thing that I can say about that, been there, done that. But now we just got to try to do better.
Yeah.
And it's an everyday challenge, every day, every day.
Absolutely.
That's why when I'm at work, they say, "Can you help me with that?" I say, "Grab the other side."
Lord. Rico, anything on your heart before we switch up?
Nah, man. You know, I just with that conversation we had, you know, with it being, because at first I said everybody didn't cheat, but then I had to think about it, you know, in another way when I brought that up about Martin Luther King. You know, I'm saying the sacrifice that he made, you know, to a certain extent, he did cheat his family out of a normal existence. Malcolm X did too. I mean, his family was in danger and receiving death threats and getting calls from the FBI. I mean, man, that's not a normal existence. You know, that's rough for a child to go through. So yeah, I think you know, when we think about that cheating thing, you know, we don't have to just think about relationships, but we just think about in all aspects of life the things that other people have to go through that they maybe shouldn't have to go through because of our actions,
Exactly.
whether good or bad. They still have to put up with it. So yeah, we all do cheat. Sometimes we cheat for the right purpose.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. See, you threw that last nugget out there, man. We could go with this thing another 15 or 20 minutes just on that. What is a good way? What is a good or a bad cheat? But I'm gonna switch up right now. And I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna play this video
Wait,
clip.
look, Raheem.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I
Go
got
ahead.
something.
Go ahead.
Why don't you, let me throw this out here. Why don't you wear the red wig tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, we got this thing called play acting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I would just throw it out there. You know, at some time or another, I have been a superhero.
Uh-oh. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Good deal. Anybody anything else on this particular topic before we switch up? I got this video I'm gonna play real quickly. Anybody else? All right, let me play this video real quickly and then
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Speak directly to your phone for me, Kurt.
So if from a physical perspective of cheating, right?
Yes.
And I've thought about this, but I just never really asked about it, right? So if I'm the type of dude and my lady's the type of lady that we role play, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every night she come home dressed as somebody else and looking like somebody else. And then we engage in this heated experience. Would that be considered cheating?
No.
That's what I was talking about, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the question that I had in my mind because, you know, you say, why don't you dress like Beyonce tonight?
Mm-hmm. But see, I say no. But I want to hear y'all intake on that as well, because that could very well be cheating within your mind. But then again, that's in your mind, because are you visualizing, are you taking that person that you're with out of the equation and thinking in your mind, in your body, everything, every element of you that you're with Beyonce, and all your acts is toward pleasing not your wife but Beyonce. And so you have to ask the question, man, Captain, is that cheating?
Well, so let me say, I mean, man, I love the brothers, man. I swear, man, I enjoy this. Some days, man, I get on here, Raheem, and spirit be down, and I listen to the brothers, man. I get my spirit boosted up. And but I want to say this, because we all real, we men on this line.
Mm-hmm.
We really try to give the politically correct answer. We really do, because every one of us are intellectuals, man, and you have not assembled a crew of bums.
Yeah.
You have assembled some of the most brilliant men, in my humble opinion, that come up with great answers.
Mm-hmm.
The questions that I be thinking is crazy as all outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Raheem get it with that question? Well, anyway.
Yeah.
But I do believe it. Let me throw this out to you. Here's a woman, and Brother Tucson can really appreciate this. Here's a woman, Tucson. She's beautiful. She's in a nice, clothes, African garment. And underneath those African garments, she's shaped like Beyonce. And then, but you don't know that. But on the other hand, there's another sister, and she's over there, and you can see everything that's supposed to be private. She done made it public. You can see the begging, you can see the shape.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm putting it out there on the table. The woman that has virtue and looking beautiful, you're not looking at her behind because you can't see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're looking at her face and you say, oh my goodness, that's a beautiful queen.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thought. Now, if you see have some morals about herself because she's dressed in a way that does not give you any hint that she's loosey-loose.
Mm-hmm.
But you look over to the right, you ain't looking at old girl's face. You don't even know what she look like. She can look like she's been hit in the face with a bag of quarters. I don't give a doggone. Booty on this girl. Fat deals in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Mm.
Who do you want? Who do you want?
Yeah.
You want the one over here that's looking beautiful. She could see she got morals. And ain't nothing greater than unwrapping a present.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to unwrap it is, ooh, look ahead, look ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got virtue, you got beauty, and you got booty.
Yeah.
That's what I want to present on the mind. Which one would you want?
And I'm gonna answer that question. And I'm gonna answer that question like this. It really, to me, it really depends on the individual, the man, age of the man, the maturity of the man, and whether he's looking for a wife or he's looking for something just for that night. And that's, it's crazy that you have to think about it that way, but I think that's what it is. It depends on the individual, the man who's actually in that scenario. Now, if he's looking for a wifey, he gonna pick that one with that virtue, man. Regardless of what she look like up under there, you don't know what she look like up under there, but you know that she's built on something, and you could build with her. But this other woman that has, wearing a small piece of thread, and that's pretty much all, yeah, you know what you're gonna get out of that too. You know what you're gonna get out of that. But we got a couple of young ladies on the line. I'm gonna go to them. I'm gonna go to them as well. But Toussaint, what's on your heart concerning what our Cap just said?
No, well, I'm just saying. I'm like Cap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like Cap. If I don't have to unwrap it, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't want to see everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not attractive to me. Maybe somebody else, but everybody is seen.
Mm-hmm.
Is exposed already.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, they got some more. I tell you, boy, they thick as soup, pea soup. But then when they turn around, Lord have mercy, what in the world is going on here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Blessed by Mother Nature, cursed by Father Time.
Good Lord. Lord.
I'm just leave it right there.
Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, he talking about unwrapping those gifts, man. I mean, ain't nothing like having your own.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you unwrap something that's new and you get a surprise from it, sometimes you might want to wrap it back up and keep it all to yourself. Keep it as new as possible. I'm like Pinky on Friday After Next. That's mine, all mine.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want nobody to see it or touch it. I'm so delighted that I realized she had this. Matter of fact, she's actually thicker than the one that everybody sees.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just don't know.
Yeah.
She act like she ain't got 12 switches. She got 15. My goodness. Good for me. But you asked the question earlier, role. I think what Curtis asked was role playing cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say if acting on a stage or acting in a movie ain't cheating, acting in the bedroom ain't cheating.
Mm. Wow. Okay.
Unless the other person doesn't know that there's an act going on.
Mm-hmm.
You like Sally, like when Harry met Sally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
exactly.
she's faking it, I heard some women say that it's best to fake it.
Mm.
Now, if that's going on and the man don't know no better, she cheating. She cheating herself and him.
Mm-hmm.
But if they role playing, they just acting.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Curtis, what's on your heart? We got a couple of ladies on here. I want to go to the ladies as well, but I'm holding them. I want to go to the gentlemen. I'm going to come to the ladies because I definitely want to hear what they got to say about this. But Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Curtis, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I just had that I did the mute button. I just had that question, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, you role playing in a bedroom, you all are enjoying the idea of being somebody else, and people who are not there mentally can get. I've seen this thing go in a whole nother different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Where,
And it can. Yeah.
You know, old buddy lady kind of got in her feelings about it
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, what, you want her more than you want me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess you want one of them strippers, ain't it? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Okay, hold on. You bought in to this experience, and now that we done had the experience, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or vice versa. Now, I've never seen it where the woman has switched up. I haven't had the blessing to see that, but
Or a woman just haven't never voiced it.
Where the dude, yeah, you know what I mean? But I have seen it where the woman, you know, she switched up. Like, hold on, you care for them more than you care for me, or, you know, every time she wanted to feel like she wanted to bet on the dude, that was always brought up. Like, you know, you must like them strippers more than you like me. Blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I guess to each his own, man.
Mm-hmm.
Acting on stage is something totally different. I'm sorry. I love you, Rick, but acting on stage is something totally different. The one component that it does share is at the end of the day, you are telling a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something totally different.
Good
But
deal.
I get where Rick is saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, a lie is a lie is a lie is a lie. So.
Mm-hmm. Good. Let me go to the ladies. Cassandra, we're talking about cheating, and do we all cheat in some kind of way? Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Do we all cheat in some kind of way, Cassandra?
I'm trying to. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. But all of the men need to go to the corner. All of y'all. Talking about boom, bam, and all that stuff. All the men on here need to go to the corner and think about it. No, I'm just.
But see, would you be offended as a young lady, Cassandra? And we have, I think we have Navy with us. So I want to ask her the same question. But would you be offended if you found out that your spouse was being intimate with you, but thinking about Beyonce or Janet Jackson or somebody like that every time y'all get together, because in his mind he's role playing? Would you be offended by that?
No, because mine ain't gonna be thinking like that. Because I know what I'm doing. At 63, I got a couple of tricks under my belt. So I'm. I want to put it out there. He can be thinking about anybody he wants to, but he gonna know he with me. That's all I can say. I'm gonna leave that right there, and I'm gonna go to the corner.
Whoa! My God!
But let me. I wanted to say this. I can say this for the Christian community that I grew up in. I can tell you this. The Pentecostal girls, they got pregnant more than everybody else. You ain't seen nothing on them chicks. Mm-hmm. They ankles was covered up, their breastises was covered up, and they wore them headgear. And them chicks was having more babies than anybody else in our community. And we had a large Pentecostal community. I'm just saying. So just because they wrapping it up, don't mean they ain't giving it up. Hello. I'm just saying.
Cassandra, you come in here throwing bolos this morning. Good Lord.
Like Raheem, Sister Cassandra said she can make a man change his religion.
Hello. Yes, she can. Yes.
Good Lord. Look, change gods, boy. She gonna make them change gods. You ain't gonna serve that God no more. You gonna serve this God because because of good God. Navy, good morning. Good morning, Navy. How you doing this morning?
I am tickled this morning. How y'all?
It's not. It's pre. This is pre Wednesday. This is pre Wednesday.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It ain't Wednesday because I'm like, this. My edges usually don't get snatched until Wild Out Wednesday. I didn't even realize it wasn't Wednesday.
Yeah, this is pre Wednesday right here. But what do you say to that? Do we all cheat in some kind of way? Do we all in some kind of way? Do we all cheat?
Like just in general, because I'm just like I was about to cheat on my meal plans this morning. So I mean, to some degree, yeah. I mean, like I would love to think. I mean, me personally, integrity is important to me. But like I said, I mean, people cheat on their diets all the time. You have some kids or people that may cheat on a test or some cheat to get ahead, cheat yourself out of time and and all that good stuff. But if we're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, then if we're looking at an intimate relationship, then no, I don't think that everyone cheats. If we're looking at it from that standpoint, but what angle are you looking at it from?
Well, holistically, as a whole, do we all cheat in some kind of way? In some kind of way, do we all cheat?
I think we have degrees of. Is it cheating more so than lusting, daydreaming? I don't know. I think that's a loaded question with a lot of different variables. So,
and we asked earlier, we spoke earlier too, Navy, about so a man think it, so is he. So if he think about, if he sees Sally Sue walking down, and he look at it like, Lord Jesus, has he cheated? And because in his mind he's done a million things to her in his mind. So is that also cheating?
Because he thought about it?
Yes. The words say so a man think it, so is he, right?
Well, I mean, in my head, I think that I'm a millionaire, but I ain't reached it yet. And I'm also married to Michael B. Jordan, and I ain't reached that yet either. I mean, I think I am, but I'm not that yet. I don't know, because if that's the case, then I would have to consider myself like a cheater. Tell me, like, that's like a black or white answer. There's a lot of gray area that has to be considered with that, because I mean, like, if I think about it, I have eyes just like he has eyes. I know that. I mean, like, I think that other men are attractive. That don't mean that I'm gonna act on that attraction, or like, oh, well, he's cute. I don't feel like every man that I feel that is cute to me or that may be physically attractive that I'm gonna go out and act on that attraction. And I can't assume that for the other person either, that because he's going to see someone that's attractive, that okay, well, let me go bust her down or something. Like, no, I think that's a cop out if people want to use that as a reason to go cheat. Because if you go cheat, you just go cheat. But I would have to be a little naive and gullible to think that you're not going to find other people attractive because I have eyes. I'm going to find other people attractive. That doesn't mean I'm going to act out on that attraction, though.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's go to Badger. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Another beautiful and blessed day to
Yes, sir.
Fam.
Badger, do we all cheat in some kind of way?
Huh. I guess that depends on your belief or perception. I mean, I've heard people say that if you enjoy yourself by yourself and you have a spouse, that can be viewed as cheating. What you said a moment ago about if someone thinks it, some people would call that cheating, some people ain't. So to me, you have to. It's gonna boil down to personal truth, personal perception, because in this world, like for me, in my experience, no,
Wow.
we're not acting on it. We're not. I mean, I'm weird anyway. It's rare for me to think about another female in a sexual way anyway. So it's, but I can't think that everyone's like me either.
Okay.
So, but that's one way I work on not condemning other human beings for being different. So, I guess to me, it's. I mean, if you have an issue, get help. I mean, this is kind of a personal perception type topic.
Exactly. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Leonard, you there?
Good morning, Raheem. In the morning.
There you go. Good morning to you. Leonard, do we all cheat in some kind of way?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, most people refer to, if you're talking about cheating, how most people use it incorrectly in the first place. No.
Okay.
No, there are some people, and you know, it's crazy to sit around and think of ways to condemn yourself. I mean, what is the cheating about? What advantage do you gain? That's the only reason why you usually cheat.
Well, you have to. I think, and this is a myth. I think you would have to actually ask that cheater what he or she trying to gain, because it could be that spoil over there. It could be the spoil over there. It could be so many different things. If you're playing a game, they cheat because of the fact they want to win, and so it's so many different things.
Yeah, but I don't think everybody cheats. So, say for instance, you probably think of cheat negatively, right?
Yeah, I do.
So, what about cheating death? You ever heard of that phrase?
I've heard that phrase.
They use that same word, cheating death. You know, I mean, that's not negative. So when someone says cheating, are you talking about cheating in a relationship or something like that? Or?
No, what I said was, do we all cheat in some kind of way? And I put it in that, I phrased it in that way just so I could put everything together and concentrate more on the cheating aspect of it. It could be in a relationship, because most of the time, as stated earlier in the broadcast, most of the time when a person says cheating, when the term cheating comes up, that's what immediately goes to a person's mind in a relationship. But there's other elements of it. There's other, in the game,
right?
So many different ways that a person can cheat. We also spoke about cheating in the mind. If you think about it, so a man thinketh, so is he. So are you actually cheating?
But you know what? In a relationship, I think the overly possessive people accuse everyone of cheating. Regardless, to them, everything is cheating because they are controlling and possessive.
Is that everybody that's in that?
I mean, it's still, like, say for instance, I hear people, I think it's popular now where folks get mad, call somebody cheating just because of a Facebook post. That don't make sense.
I get.
First of all, I've been married the most of my life, so it's not cheating, it's adultery. So I don't know, this whole cheating thing. I mean, what's the agreement beforehand? A lot of people call every single thing that they can't control cheating sometimes.
Greg says that Greg on one of the apps we have here, Big, he says some women cheat on me. I mean, women are conniving. Wow.
Right. I mean, it's not, and it's not like it's limited to men or women. Some people these days now, everything is cheating. Every single thing is cheating. Just because they want it to be cheating. That's what they call it. Why do I need to tell? I think I heard you made a comment about so is a man think it's so is a man he, whatever you said.
Yeah. Those,
and that to me has always been something that just don't make sense.
mm-hmm.
Surely thinking about murder is differently than committing it.
Mm-hmm.
Every rational person should understand that.
Well, my thing was that when I stated that from the biblical aspect, it says that so a man thinketh, so is he. And so what I put on that, I say if a man think of, because it's been said many times before, if you sit there, if you look at that woman and lust, you already sinned. So I could attribute that to the cheating aspect of it. So if you're sitting there, if you're looking at this woman and you have lust in your mind, or have the thought of doing different things to her in your mind, have you already cheated? Because it says it is written that you've already sinned.
Well, I'm glad it's written and I ain't done it. So I mean, I don't understand. You know,
Everybody-
a lot of people who do
everybody-
that are just looking for reasons to
everybody
condemn
not-
themselves.
Everybody not you though, Leonard.
You know, that's
Everybody
kinda
not you, brother.
That's kind of some sick religious concept, I believe.
Okay.
But lust and things like that is completely natural.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is a completely natural thing. I mean, why wouldn't you look at a beautiful woman and admire her beauty? Why wouldn't you do that?
Well, and when you said the way that you said it, and we got to move on to somebody else, but the way that you said it, you know, you could look at a beautiful woman and know that she's beautiful, but that, you don't necessarily have to lust after her. You know, it's a different level when you get to a point where you're lusting over her. That's not just looking at her and admiring her beauty. Now you're lusting, which is a whole different conversation.
So that's all in your head.
The lusting.
Yeah.
Curtis,
I'm
is there a reason, Curtis?
Because she don't even know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously an issue with you internally or something like that, I believe. And I don't see anything
Curtis,
wrong with admiring beautiful women and things of that nature.
We never said no.
I'm probably not the best.
We never said that was wrong. No, nobody ever said that was wrong. What I said was when you get to the point where you're lusting after this particular woman. Now you have to admit that looking at a person and lusting after a person is two different things. But we have to keep this thing going. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, it is a difference because
Absolutely.
I can see a good-looking man, and I'm like, wow, he is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to sleep with him. I just think he's good to look at. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, he is really built. You know, I mean, it's different things. Or I can hear it. I'm gonna tell you. Can I tell y'all the best thrill I get? An intelligent man. Listen, man, that'll do it for me. You know what I'm saying? Just as well as somebody. I love it. Intelligence is like turn on, and I'm not talking about one half sex. It's just it hypes me up. So but biblically, no, that's not lust. No, that's not lust. I'm not wanting to sleep with them, but it stimulates. Okay, let's use a different word. It stimulates me.
Okay.
Maybe let's switch
I'm
it
just
up.
saying.
Hold on.
Yeah, it stimulates me.
Hold on, y'all. One at a time. Everybody. Excuse me. Everybody, one at a time. We can't hear when more than one person talking. We can't hear it, and so we missing everything that's being said because y'all talking over top of each other. One at a time. Go ahead, Cassandra.
Yeah. So, but all I'm saying is it's stimulating. So different things stimulate different people, but lust is something totally different.
Yeah.
But Jesus said that if you look on a woman, you understand what I'm saying, and you like, boy, I would like to get a piece of that. Then you might as well have just said, "Girl, look here, let's take a walk or something."
Exactly.
Because then you acted on that lust, or that whatever. But just looking at somebody, and I'm busting hell wide open because I see men sometimes, and I be like, I smell them, I be like, oh Lord, but I don't want to have sex with them. I just like nice smelling men,
And
that's it.
And
I'm going to the corner now.
And that's why I say that's why I was making the point is it's one thing to look at a beautiful woman. I look at Halle Berry, I say she's beautiful, but I'm not looking at Halle Berry lusting over her. Then I want to get with her. I want to do that. That's a whole different situation. You can look at a car and say it's a beautiful car. Do you want to lay down with that car? No, you're not lusting over the car. You just appreciate the beauty of that car. And so that's my whole point right there. You have to understand that there is a difference in the looking and marrying and the lusting. The lusting is a whole different level. Captain, what's on your heart?
you said you look at Halle Berry, but you don't lust after Halle Berry till you see the movie Monster Ball. Now that may change your whole attitude about Halle Berry. All right. But let me say this, keeping it 100 with you. I want to say, everybody, Brother Brahim, thank you for allowing us to all have a sense of humor. And I don't think, I really want to make sure that no one takes what I say as an insult. It's just a sense of humor. I do have a sense. I love it, and we may say some things that we laugh about, but forget it. For butting into the conversation, it just be funny, Ryan. I'm sorry. It just be funny. But let me say this. Now, Dr. Leonard, I think he's a brilliant man. I mean, seriously. And some things Dr. Leonard said, I be saying, we ain't come up with that one. Everybody cheated in school.
Yes.
I don't know nobody. If you say you didn't, maybe because you was one of those little scientists. But I cheated. Man, look, I looked on the paper. I wrote down answers on my hand. I cheated. You made a very good point. You cheat to win.
Yes.
Now, if you go out and you take a woman other than your wife, Brother Leonard, and you take, I know you won't do it. This is hypothetically, but because I know you won't do that, Brother Leonard, but I'm just giving you a point. If you take her to dinner, and she's a co-worker, and you really take her because you're really attracted to her, and you don't go home and tell your wife, baby, I took, that co-worker you think I'm messing with, I took her to dinner, so you don't say nothing. But that's not adultery. You cheated. How did you cheat? Because you didn't tell your wife that you took her, because your motive was a little different. Your intent was a little different. That's a lust. If Sister Cassandra would say, now look at them and look at the mother. Lord have mercy, I was pleased. That's lusted, and you keep looking at it. But it said, oh, he's nice stuff. That's the kind of man I like to have. Take care of it. That ain't lusted. And if you go to Sister Cassandra and she open up and taking out, she open up that closet and you see all the whips and shit. Oh, I'm a deacon, Sister Cassandra, I'm a deacon. But the bottom line is, we all have fetishes. And fetishes is not wrong as long as your fetishes don't infringe on somebody else's right and your fetishes become abused. But everybody got something that they like. Some women like men with muscles and tall, dark, and handsome. Some women like light skin. That's what they like. Certain women I like. But I don't think lust and looking at somebody who's attractive is the same thing. I think, man, all day long, she said, let us brothers go to the corner. We got some beautiful women.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit up there and spend my time, man, I'm going to get this kid. Man, if I did. No, but I do think cheating, everybody cheats one way or another. It ain't got nothing to do with your spouse. You can cheat on the test. You can cheat yourself. And like the sister said, I was going to do some calories. I cheated on my calories. Cheating is overall, we all cheat one way or another. Now, when it comes to the spouse, I think that's a whole different program. But I like what Brother Curtis said. Curtis says, well, cheating is sin. Well, okay. But when I cheat on that news, when I cheat on my test, that is sin.
Yeah.
So when you got to put it in the right context. Because if you do cheat on your spouse and you're a Christian, if you do cheat on your spouse and you say you're a religious practice person, that is sin. That if you marry, that's adultery. So I can understand. Just put it in the right context because cheating is very broad.
Yes.
If we're going to narrow it down to male and female, cool. If we're going to narrow it down to everything we do, you're giving us a broad brush to paint this canvas with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I agree, man. Back to what I said earlier, I think, really it's cheating if you are denying another person an opportunity, whether it's even the opportunity to know what's going on that's beneficial or detrimental to them. Or you deny you are giving yourself an advantage over somebody that's unfair. I don't think cheating on a test is a sin, So, I look at this whole thing differently, man. Man, listen, this is a woman that walks around in my neighborhood, man. Y'all know I've been celibate for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But just like you said about that car,
Mm-hmm.
oh, she's nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows I want to drive her. Ooh, I want to drive that car, man. I'm telling you, man, look, that car looks so nice that when they come around the neighborhood just parading around, exercising, for some reason, a lot of other potential drivers like to come out and see how nice the car looks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bad, man. Oh, my goodness, man. I ain't going to lie to you. I want to drive that car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See?
But I fight it.
Yeah.
I fight that temptation, that lust, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you call it. Might even fantasize in my mind when I see her running around there in that little flat stomach and just jiggling the way she, oh, Lord have mercy. I can't wait till later on this afternoon.
Oh, we got to see Rico over there. We got to see Rico
But
over there
I
in that
still
corner.
ain't seeing it. I don't think. Because I ain't touched her.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even shot my shot.
Mm-hmm.
I just adore it and watch it for all the glory that comes along with it. I mean, it's a nice, beautiful thing to see. Y'all just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But am I sinning because I thought about that? Because I really deep down inside. Now listen, I've been celibate for a second or two.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't the only one I done seen like that. But am I sinning for wanting to drive those cars?
Mm.
Because she remind me of more than a Jeep.
There you go. Toya, you would have seen, look, Rico, go on. You know the way over there to that corner, brother. Go on over there. Toya, you would have seen, good morning. How you doing this morning?
She remind me of my Jeep. I wanna ride it.
Lord.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing. I don't know what model I'm in, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know. It's
Listen,
different for girls. I don't know what y'all talking about, but I don't be wanting to drive cars like that now. I might want them to take the car to the bank and see what it's worth.
you get the value. We asked
That's
the
right.
question. We got asking the question this morning. I want to hear your heart on this. We're going to transition over to another topic as well. But do we all cheat in some kind of way? What do you say to that, Toya?
You're asking the wrong person because I used to be a cheater.
Mm.
What? If I want it, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna have it. Don't make no difference. I ain't gotta cheat. I'm gonna get it the right way. And I'm not cheating if I tell you the truth. Look here, partner. I love you, right? But I'm finna go try that right there. You can stick around, you can leave, it don't make me no difference. But I'm finna get that right there.
Wow.
Terrible. That's why I had to be delivered. I was on my way to hell. Are you kidding me? What? I was terrible. But I've been delivered from that. So, it depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking from a biblical stance? Because the Bible says, if you think it in your heart, it is done.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're thinking about killing somebody, robbing somebody, stealing from somebody, having sex with somebody, murdering somebody, dropping a bomb, normally these things fester from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the action. It's about the heart. Can you
Exactly.
imagine being with someone and they's like, well, I didn't have sex with him. I just thought about it and fantasized about it all day and night. I don't know how guys feel about it, but for girls, we gonna feel a kind of way to know that you was thinking and fantasizing about somebody when I'm with you. Yeah, it's cheating. Yeah, it's cheating. You better not even take a phone number. Hey, don't even say, hey, tilt your head, rock your head, say, what's up? You better not even open up your mouth. You better learn celebrity, partner.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends.
But see, my thing with that, Toya, and you about to get me for saying this, but you say all that, but you say that part of the conversation is coming from a person that used to be a cheater. So how does that go together?
Oh, well, who best to take that advice from somebody that done it? I'm being honest.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest. Most people don't be honest, Raheem, especially most women. You know what I'm saying? Most women, we don't be honest. We play games. You know what I'm saying? I can't even stand women who don't want to pass gas. I'm like, what? I'm finna blow you out the water, brother. I need to make sure that you in the game for being in the game. Come on with the jokes. But we're not human. I mean, we're not serious. But yeah, if you are leaning that way, and I'm not talking about, all right, just a thought come through your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he fine. And you leave it alone, right? But you just gotta every day. You gotta look at this certain person. You gonna break your neck every day on the clock. Your wife on the inside, and every day on the clock, you gotta go to the door to go watch this car ride by because she exercising. What you mean is that cheating? Of course it is, because you gonna wind up working your. Didn't you just hear me say I'm a cheater? You gonna work your way up into doing what you want to. So yeah, it's different. A thought, okay. But if it's an everyday ritual now, you a cheater.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Is this the topic for the day?
No.
Oh, I'm more interested in what's the topic.
Okay, well, we're talking about this right now, Badger.
I mean, the cheat. Are you? Is the person going to act on it or not?
That would depend. That depends. But if they think about it, if they have a real powerful desire, is that a bad thing, Badger? They have a real powerful desire, and like you said, every day at 4:45, this person go jogging, and you make your way to the door every day, or in the yard, or wherever you need to be, so you can actually see this person jogging by every day. You have a real powerful lust for this person. Is that a bad thing?
That's between them and God. It's not my place to judge them.
Okay.
Unless the moment they go past the thought and start acting on it, I'm probably going to suggest, hey, don't you have an amazing wife you want to be with? That's probably not the best idea. But if it's all in their head, how are we going to know, for one? And that's between them and their God.
Well, you're going to know because of the fact that this person is making a conscious effort every day to do the same thing, to make sure that they're in a position to see this person as this person pass by.
And to me, it sounds like the person that's observing this, that's seeing this pattern, is also being a stalker because they know it's a pattern.
Could very well be, but at the same time, that don't stop this person from lusting after this young lady or that man or whoever it is.
Why are we trying to control somebody else's thoughts?
It has nothing to do with controlling, brother. We acting about a situation in a scenario. You going real deep talking about controlling their thoughts. We're not saying that. Asking the simple question: are they sinning, or are they cheating?
I'm telling you from my heart. This is my perception. I'm not going to say yes or no because I'm not God.
Okay, let's move on to somebody else. Good deal. Now, what I'm about to do. Anybody else have any other questions or comments you want to make on this particular topic right here before we move to the next one?
Yeah, this is Ibrahim. Good morning.
Ibrahim, good morning, man. You done snuck in on me. Good morning. Ibrahim, asking the question this morning. Do we all cheat in some kind of way?
Yeah, I think we're gonna take advantage. We're gonna for gain. You know, I mean, we take advantage of something. It's a competitive world. You know what I mean? So we'll do whatever we do. Sometimes we'll deceive or trick to get what we want. You know what I mean? And I like to sing a song. Think about one thing that, baby, don't you drive my car.
Oh Lord, he want to sing. Oh Lord. Lord.
But cheating makes it an act. You see what I'm saying? And I think we have to pay attention to the words, right? Cheating is an act. It's an act of acting dishonestly, unfairly to gain an advantage, right? But you know, something like that. So let's look at the whole thing, right? It's a very broad subject, and we go broad up a lot of that I said that would make sense. Now we put it between relationships. You know, that there again, are you cheating on that person, or are you putting yourself in a position to get another person? You know, I don't know. That'd be all I want to deal with, because when we talk about relationships, you know, people have in mind what they want and what you want. You know what I mean? And my religion, that divorce is amicable rather than to it's the most, you know, unless that, you know, less amicable to get divorced rather than be in a better relationship. You know, I wish I could say it to a lot of people, but a lot of people, we create these relationships that make it toxic. And we could be the problem, because guess what? You keep getting into the same relations over and over again, you have the same problem. Don't make all men or women bad.
Yeah.
I just mean you got something broken in your shop. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so, but anyway, I'm glad to hear everybody's money. I hear y'all operating all 8 cylinders, right?
Yes, sir. You wide open this morning.
Oh.
We're about to
Right.
change.
So wait, right.
Absolutely. Stay right there. Stay right there with us, Abraham. Don't go nowhere, brother. We're going to switch over to another topic, and I'm gonna play this video clip real quickly, and it's going to introduce the next topic. Let me get it prepared here. Open that one up. Bring that up like that.
Hey, Raheem, can I throw this out there real quick, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's why it's good that people actually have good, deep conversations about how they view things. Because some people wouldn't look at certain things as cheating. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got women that wouldn't look at their man as cheating if they look at another woman, because not only they're looking at other men, but they're looking at other women too. But they just looking. You know, and so it really depends on the person and the type of relationship that y'all agree to have, because everybody, you know, doesn't look at cheating the same. I agree with Ibrahim about the action part.
Yeah.
You know, I think cheating is more about the action and the intention. You know, with that looking thing, you know what I'm saying? You can still be looking, but still just already have it made up in your mind that you ain't gonna try nothing. You just like to look at it. You know, if I ain't mistaken, I've heard that certain strippers said that some women appreciate their husbands coming to the strip club because they come home and taking care of business because they've been worked up.
Yeah.
Worked up with the entertainment that those women provided. You know, now that could be debatable. That depends on the person. Some people might use that as an excuse, and some people might say, no, that really is true. You know what I'm saying? I take this home to my wife, and she appreciate the fact that I went out there and looked at a stripper. She might ask me, well, you done been to the strip club, ain't you? So, I mean, you know, it really depends on the people, but I think y'all have to really sit down and have a discussion on what you consider cheating, because just looking and appreciating, I don't even want to call that stalking, but if y'all want to put the label on that, you know what I'm saying, you can call it that.
Yeah.
But I think if that person doesn't make an intention to still make that thing happen, they're just appreciating what God created.
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Mary. I'm gonna ask Mary this question real quickly before we go to our next topic, because I know she can't speak on the next topic. But Mary, do we all cheat in some kind of way? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. And no. No, I don't think everybody cheats. From my definition of cheating, no.
Okay. What about see, and I could guarantee you, when you say cheat, you thought about relationship. What about cheating, like Captain said? What about cheating on a test in school? What about cheating in a race? What about cheating in playing cards or something like that? Do we all cheat in some kind of way?
In that case, yes, but in the case of like relationships, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Because I want to make sure, because when you put this out there, majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, the first thing a person gonna think about when they say cheating is a relationship. But there's other ways that people can cheat. Toy, you wanted to say something, sis?
You know, I'm a little bit more dramatic, right? Because I was gonna rob you, but I changed my mind. I don't want to rob you. I love you. No, it was a game at first. They set me up to set you up, but then I changed my mind. See, we humans, we can take things and we can fit it and we can squash it and we can squish it and put it and make it fit like Play-Doh. But humans normally not like that. I just had a conversation with somebody the other day, my homeboy, and we got to talking about women. And he's like, you know, how women do this, that, and the third. And I said, the problem is with you men is y'all always get who y'all love and not who love y'all. You knew certain things was going on beforehand, you know, right? And so 9 times out of 10, they say, if you're going to lie, you're going to cheat. If you're going to cheat, you're going to steal. That might not necessarily be true, but the thought of some things needs to be an issue. And again, this is for me. It's not about reading their mind, right? But if I know every day at 4 o'clock, this lady walking across the street and I can't find you at 4 o'clock, I mean, you there looking at her, who wants that? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even with stealing, I was getting ready to go take the money out the bank, but I didn't. No,
That need to be something we need to look at. And on the flip side, there are people in this world that are with people that cheat. Some people don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, they're worthy. So if you cheat, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Some people are cool with people who steal from them. Ask some of the people who win the lottery. Oh, I know they stealing, but it doesn't matter. That's my kid, my grandkid, my child. I love them. You know what I'm saying? So oftentimes we're willing to compromise with things that we know that's right. But what we're not going to say is that we don't know no better, because a lot of us do know better. We know what cheating is. And we know that we're not supposed to be doing certain things. So we got to be 100. It's not about how people fix it to be, because you're making it fit you. But we know what respect is, and we got to learn how to abide by those guidelines and teaching to other people too, because some people are out of control.
Absolutely. Kurt, you wanted to say something, brother?
Yeah, in my mind, man, when you talk about cheating, man, cheating is the art of deception. No matter which direction you go with it, it is the art of deception. If you're talking about cheating on a test, you know, people just went to jail for that.
Yes.
People just went to jail for that. That whole SAT debacle.
Yep.
People went to jail for that. It is the art of deception to gain a wanted advantage over a given situation and or circumstances, right? Now, when you talk about cheating on a spiritual level, in my mind, Cassandra said something. She's still in the corner, poor sweetheart, poor baby. Cassandra said something that, in all reality, when you're talking about it on a spiritual level, then cheating can be considered. Cheating and lust goes together, because both create a certain stimuli in your spirit. Now, how many of us want to admit that we not only in lust, but that we cheating? We don't. Nobody wants to admit that. Any person that, in my opinion, any person that actually wants to admit that and stand on that like it's the proper way and that, listen, something wrong with you. Nobody wanted to. Then it said something that I swear will stick with me for the rest of my life on this call. He said something to the effect of, some people just want to abuse themselves. In so many words. That's how I took what he was saying. Is, hey, y'all, some people just want to abuse themselves. Right? And I see it all the time. I see it all the time. You sit there and you cheat so that you can get a resource, and then you turn around and beat yourself up for cheating to get the resource. What did you get? What you needed? So I don't know, man. You know, we can compartmentalize, and we can attempt to compartmentalize and put one thing worse than the other, but I'm always reminded of the movie Eyes Wide Shut. When that man is confronted with the simple fact that here it is, he's been married to this lady for almost 10 years. He's been seeing her for almost 20 years, and found out that ever since their honeymoon, every time that they have engaged, she has been thinking about this Navy captain that was in the bar when they got to Cancun.
Wow.
She never slept with the guy. She never had any physical interactions with the guy. She saw him when they walked in the bar, and he was so fine to her that she fantasized about him from that day all the way to present day. Is that wrong? And then, you know, is that wrong, or is the physical act itself wrong? You know, it's psychological warfare that we all have within ourselves.
Good deal. I'm trying to move on to the next topic, but if anybody else got anything to want to say about this, because this is it's so many different levels on this thing, man. This cheating thing, there's so many different levels on it. Anybody have anything before we move on?
I feel like it's definitely a definition of cheating, because somebody that's not in a polygamous relationship would probably say that that's cheating, but they don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Cap, I know you got something for us, Cap. What's on your heart?
Well, you know, I'm like everybody, you know, I think, you know, we covered a lot of bases on this, and most certainly, you know, we got to, one thing we have to do is, are we going to use a certain definition that all of us can agree on instead of us giving our definition what cheating is? I think if we're going to really deal with I like what Sister just said, the definition. And if we chose to go with Webster, we chose to go with whoever, and we said that's not the best definition, we just quoted right there, and stay with that definition. That way we don't stray. We don't stray wasting a whole lot of time giving our interpretation on what we think cheating is. To me, we move from a level of ignorance into a level of intelligence. That's all. I just think it makes sense because we all disagree. Everybody's definition of cheating is not the same definition.
It's not the same, no.
And we be here all day long trying to explain, and somebody gonna say I disagree, and if we just sit there and say, can we all agree that the definition of cheating is X, Y, and Z? And everybody say, yeah, that's the definition we're gonna go about. And I think that's how we have to deal with any intellectual subject that you give us. I mean, we got to stop giving people what we think a definition, and that may not be the definition. So I'm a person that likes to real deal with definition. So I think there's no word on here who is wrong. Even Crazy Leonard is all crazy out. No, I love Leonard. I'm glad that you got a sense of humor, brother. Because, you know, that's just admiration. Somebody talking about you all the time, Leonard, that means they really are mine. But they just don't know how to say it. But nevertheless, I love everybody's way, and that's what makes this show so brilliant. I sit there listening to Sister T. Sister T be going hard in the paint.
Yes, sir.
I look at Brother Badger. I said, listen, I listen to Badger. I said, he's gonna put in there, somehow he's a Native American. Somehow he's gonna squeeze it in there. Somehow he's gonna say he's white. I don't care what something we come up with, he's gonna squeeze it in. I'm waiting on it. Today he didn't do it. Today he didn't do it. But the bottom line is, thank you, Raheem. I don't think we can really cover this with what we think, but I think y'all gave some beautiful, you know what Brother Rico said? Sometimes you have an opinion. After we get to the talking, our opinion changes. That's cool. That means, wow. If Brother Leonard didn't say what he said, I wouldn't. If Curtis didn't say what he said, if so-and-so, okay, I see that. Well, let me go back and recount my statement. I agree.
Good
so
deal.
If we come to a level where we begin to agree with each other to the point where we see the brilliance of the work, then I think we into it. I love this show. Y'all can see I love this show.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got to say.
Good deal. Well, we're about to. I'm about to play this clip. I want to play this clip. We're gonna go on to our next topic for today, and the clip gonna explain itself. And after that, we'll go into the dialogue on it. Cassandra, you there? Cassandra?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're gonna put you on the spot. We're gonna come to you first. So be on standby. Okay?
You might think racism in the US is really a case of a few bad apples. A racist cop here, a so-called Karen there, a leader of a white supremacist group. You know, people who deliberately hate. But we can't blame racism in America on just a few bad apples. Think of our nation's problem as more like an apple pie, with the racial injustice baked right into every aspect of our society. Meet Ebony and Emily, two American babies, one black, one white, born at the same time, same place, but Ebony will not get an equal slice of the pie, and that starts from birth. Because of her race, Ebony is 3 times more likely than Emily to die in the hospital as a newborn if her doctor is white. And once Ebony and Emily go to school, while both girls occasionally misbehave, studies show they won't face the same punishment. Ebony is 7 times more likely than Emily to be suspended, and 4 times more likely to be arrested on campus. When the 2 girls grow up and apply for jobs, odds are fewer employers will call Ebony back because she has a black-sounding name. And even though Emily and Ebony will get the same college degree, once Ebony is hired statistically as a black person, she'll make an average of 25% less than Emily. So why didn't Ebony get an equal slice of that apple pie? It's because systemic racism is built into our country's DNA. In the 17th and 18th centuries, wealthy white men needed land, so they took it from indigenous people and then forced blacks into slavery. To justify using blacks for free labor, the whites in power promoted a myth that blacks were inferior. And as Seattle-based author Ijoma Oluo points out, our nation's institutions, politics, and policies were designed against the backdrop of that money-driven lie that black people just weren't as worthy or as capable as whites.
Our school systems were built around this, our economic systems are built around this, our government systems were built around this. And it is simply that things were designed to uphold this story, to uphold this exploitation.
And even though slavery ended here more than 150 years ago, the racism that fueled it persists in systemic ways today. White Americans now hold 85% of this country's wealth, Black Americans just over 4%, and Hispanics just over 3%. People of color, people like Ebony, are statistically more likely to be impoverished, incarcerated, and face discrimination in healthcare. Emily may have her own barriers in life, but her skin color won't be one of them.
It's not someone said, here's your wealth because you're white. Here's your status because you're white. It simply means that the barriers that we placed in front of people of color were not placed in front of you. Now, you may have a whole nother set of barriers, right? You may have barriers of disability, barriers of class, barriers of immigration status, so many other barriers that were placed in front of you. But acknowledging privilege is simply acknowledging if we also took that other set of barriers that we place in front of people of color, you would stumble even further.
So even though you may not consider yourself a bad apple, a racist cop, a so-called Karen, or a member of an extremist group, Oluo says you may have played a role, even if you have the best intentions.
Instead of this whole, let's all learn to be best friends and love each other, you can love someone of a different race and ethnicity and still actively participate in their oppression based on how you vote, based on what you bring up in your office meetings, based on where you spend your money.
It's not too late to change the recipe of the most American apple pie.
Cassandra,
I'm here.
what did you hear in that clip?
My life experience.
Wow.
I think every Black person, well, not every, because there's always exceptions. Most Black people in this country will totally identify with the statistics, with the facts that this woman shared. It's our truth. For me, well, let me go again.
Yeah.
It's my truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's my truth. Because I noticed, and I've said this on here before, I managed businesses for several years, right? I taught school 12 years. I managed businesses 17 years. Can I tell you that they would bring in a young white girl, pretty little young white girl, no experience, and want me to train them to take my job and other Black jobs on the thing. How does that work? Just because one district manager told me she's so perky and cute. Well, what does that have to do with her performance? So yes, that video, it nails it right on the head. We out the gate, we have setbacks and things that they try to do to hold us back. That's why Black business, Black entrepreneurship is essential in this season if we're ever going to attain part of the American dream.
Wow. Wow. Curtis, what did you hear, brother?
What do you mean? What I heard?
In that clip that was just played.
What I heard was facts. And it all ties into.
Are you talking directly to your phone there, Curtis? It's just a little bit low, brother. Want to make sure everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, what you just heard was facts. You can't, I said it the other day. You know what I mean? Like, the truth can stand on its own. It don't need to be supported.
Okay, I think Curtis. Yeah, go ahead.
Is the? Let me now, Raheem. Is this better?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Is this better?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So what you just heard was the explanation for not only systemic racism, but you also heard the explanation for what they call intergenerational wealth, and that's how the company and the power structure and those who have power was able to not only gain power but to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just think about the dollar that they made today. They was thinking about protecting the dollar of today so that they would gain more dollars in 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So see, that I mean, there's so many ways you can go with this to state the inconvenient truth. Now you have some of those who say, well, we've been here long enough. We should be doing better, blah, 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 which a part of that is true. But you cannot escape the reality that in one community, there is a denial to appropriate access. And in another community, there's an open door policy to that very same access. So, I just, the video, or the clip itself, it told the truth about America and about its conception. And for some people, it'll be inconvenient to admit that. And for others, you can look at that and say what's going on. I implore people to read the Kerner Commission. I always say this when we have this topic. Read the Kerner Commission's report.
Mm-hmm.
Read it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Good deal. Good deal. Badger, what did you hear in that clip?
Truth. Because that's what's going on, unfortunately. And there's anyone that denies it isn't paying attention, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
good.
just, man, dude. It's so wild to me hearing all the stuff that I've heard people say over and over and over about none of that exists. None of that's really real. And it's BS.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
Man, the amount of people that honestly think something like that doesn't exist bothers me. Because when you look at the evidence and you look at, what exactly is going on, how's it go down, the amount of times where a human being based on race gets more than other people. And unfortunately, it is situational. Because not every judge is racist. Not every how to word that? There's going to be places where justice could be similar or equal, but it's a lot less than the amount of times where to me, it also boils down to money. So, man, this topic is, I get really irritated with this topic because of the amount of people I've tried to inform that this stuff is real and exists, and they want to sit there and ignore it
Yeah,
and
exactly.
say that it doesn't, or some other
Mhm.
nonsense that even with my brain, I'm like, I don't understand how you can't think this doesn't exist.
Well, a lot of times, Badger, some people, and you will correct me on this. I stopped your time. You got a minute and 10 seconds left. Some people don't think that it exists because it does not affect them. In their world, it does not affect them, and so they live in a world where they don't have to deal with it. When other people it's actually their reality. Starting your time back up.
But that's the part I don't understand. How could something that's that heinous and that obvious, why would a person want it to be a part of their life?
I don't think people want it to be. I don't
Well,
think
they have to, you have to choose at some point in a human being's life. It's going to come down to a decision of choice
Mhm.
to be hateful toward another person due to whatever it is, due to being not liking black people.
Mhm.
To me, eventually, as you become an adult, just like anything else on this in this world, you are going to have a
30 seconds.
choice to be
Mhm.
hateful or not.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? What did you hear? Systematic racism.
I mean, I saw just one piece of the puzzle. I saw an example of the keys to the color code and how images, vision, just appearance has such an impact. It gets a lot deeper. If she would have used black men or black babies for an example, that number probably would have multiplied by 3 times. Um, it gets deeper because now that we know that this happens and we live in an environment, because the key word on that thing was systemic. That means that it's so implanted into the system that people are unconsciously participating in that process that stereotyped and categorized and placed us lower than.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the type of, it gets deeper. This is the type of video that actually black people, men and women, need to sit down and watch, because when they start talking about these broke ass niggas, hey, this is some of the reason why they broke. They still gonna get looked at with that same color that this video is talking about, and say, well, you know what? I don't think I want to hire him. Why? Why you won't hire me? Why am I overqualified? You ever heard that before?
Oh yeah.
Somebody being overqualified for a job. So that denies you from having an opportunity to provide for your family, because you will be, not only would you be good at that job, but you will be better than they imagine. So we ain't gonna hire you. So many different reasons, So this is something that, really, like I said, it gets so much deeper. You have to start thinking, why, what impact does it have mentally to that community that is going through it? See, this is being explained to in general population of human beings to understand the process of what's going on in America, but it gets deeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
What impact does it have mentally? What impact did it have mentally? What impact is it having today, coming from a system that's still in place that has you distracted and thinking that was back then?
Yeah.
That ain't just back then.
30 seconds.
So it's something ingrained in this society over here in this country. It's ingrained to the point where some people don't even realize unconsciously what impact it has. So it's some soul searching that people need to do to think back and wonder how they felt about certain people, how they feel about black people, when they say all you got to do is just pull up your bootstraps. Oh, well, you woe is me. No, it ain't really just woe is me, or I just need to just pull up my bootstrap. But sometimes when I go apply for this job, they still gonna look at me and say, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna hire that black man right there. He might be a little too aggressive. I had an argument the other day because the woman said that I was aggressive with the
Mhm.
way that I talk. And I
Wow.
remember then that sometimes black men have to come back and they have to tone it down a little bit because they don't want to come off as that aggressive black man, stereotypically that we are judged to be.
Good
For
deal.
whatever reason, we can't be ourselves. So I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
That
Hold right
video.
there. Okay, hold right there, Rico. I'm certainly gonna come back to you, man. But let me go right now to Willow. Willow, what's on your heart? And good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Morning Glow.
Good morning, sis.
I am awesome this morning.
What did you hear in that video clip? I don't know if you was able to see it, but what did you hear in the clip, in the audio? What did you hear?
Well, I did hear it. And actually, I was making a joke. Ebony and I was listening to it. But I think it was Ebony and Emery. I forgot the other name.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I was listening to that video, I said, here we go again. This is what we constantly talk about with no resolution from people actually want to change. Because sometimes people take that kind of thought and they put it in their environment and they try to stand on it. Yesterday I was at a union meeting. That's where I was yesterday, at a union meeting. I've never been in the union, Raheem. I was at my place I used to work for. We were privately owned. And we never had a union. So I was upset because it reminded me of how the white people treat black people. And I'm going to say that the white people were the union and the black people were the opposite of it. And I said that because they tried to play a mind game with us. They tried, it was more of brainwashing than it was of really trying to get us where we need to be. And I'm saying that because that's what happens sometimes in this world. And I look at, it doesn't happen all the time. Just want us to think that those are the statistics. Now, don't get me wrong. I know it happens. Don't get me wrong, but when you got people that are full of knowledge, look at Serena Williams and Venus. Serena broke. She broke the tennis when she was one of the first black to play tennis professionally. So are there things and places where we can get in regardless of our culture or our skill? You bet it is. But if we constantly believe, if I'm in a single home, not being raised but nothing by a woman, and statistically they saying that at the age of 13 I'm gonna go to jail or I'm gonna be selling drugs, and you get that in your mindset, then that's where you're going in that direction. But I believe that you could change anything. That's just me. Because we're gonna have racism to the end of time. But you're not gonna put me in the environment. Not at all, because I'm going to know my rights. And another thing, I'm going to stand up for my rights. Another thing, I'm going to speak up for my rights. See, there are processes in place. And I don't care how you was raised or what you believe, it's not going to happen to me in that direction. Now, I ain't going to say I ain't going to go through it, but the outcome ain't going to be the same, baby. That's what I want to say. Because it's an existence, but you're not going to put it in the mindset because I'm raised in a poor family that I'm going to either end up in jail or I'm going to be end up in jail or something else bad going to happen because of statistics. And that's what's in my heart, Raheem.
Good deal. Good deal. Toya with a T. Talk to me, sis.
Yeah, hey, I know me, man. It is systematic, right? But some of the stuff we do to ourselves too. I remember when I first started school, they was telling us how this all started, and it started from differences. You know what I'm saying? Promotions. You know what I'm saying? And one person is able to get something that another person is not, and just so happen it's color. And they still do that now. You know what I'm saying? We know that. We know that two people can be qualified. One is white, one is black, and the white person gonna get more. I seen it happen to me. I had a CEO come out of his office to come see me. Do you know they still paid that white man $10,000 more than me, and he couldn't even do anything compared to what I had done? So we know it's a system. Not only is it a system, it's the way of life. But this is my thing. We been knew that when we got set free. Why are we still working for people and working for ourselves instead of working for ourselves? This is nothing new. We've had the same conversation all of my 44 years. Why are we still working in the system? The system is only going to be against you if you're in the system. So what are we going to do to break free if that doesn't change? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the conversation need to change to, the solution to the system, the breaking away from the system. You know what I'm saying? And when we started going through COVID, I started saying, do we not see the system of America breaking down in front of our faces? And we're still acting like, you know what I'm saying? We don't see it, but who's in position? You know what I mean? Like, what's the next move now? It's systematic racism, right? Everything they do, everything we do is higher. Everything we do is challenge. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what? Then let's look at part 2. If we knew that we've been had an issue with white people and police, why are we doing things to destroy our own community? You know what I'm saying? Because now the system has taken a head of its own, and now we do things subconsciously to each other. You know what I'm saying? With drugs, or like we have conversations all the time. For the love of money, we'll do something to a black person. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be scared from white people. So their system actually work. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I just want to know, now what? You know, now what's next? 45 years I've been living here. It's been the same system, the same systematic racism, and it's getting worse. Now what? And when we come up with the what, who's going to do the work?
Wow. Good deal. Good deal. And that, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, man. On fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about systematic racism. I think you missed, I don't know if you was watching, but we played a video a few minutes earlier. I think you may have missed that particular video, but it's talking about systematic racism. What do you know about systematic racism, and does it exist? You got 3 minutes.
Well, the thing about it, systematic racism, you know what? There's always going to be preferential treatment. Okay, this is what I will say. And what I will say, as a woman of God, I already know that I have favor. So it really doesn't matter whether there's systematic racism. What I'm going to do is I'm going to study the system, okay? And I'm going to beat the system, okay? Not only am I going to beat the system, I'm going to challenge the system. I'll never forget, I was a graphic artist for the only graphic artist for the major teachers organization in LA. I was a shop steward. So the woman who talked about a union, I was ahead of the union. I negotiated contracts at a young age and everything. And as much as I received backlash, man, I got in there and made it work. Sometimes you got to get in there and you have to make it work. And you are, whatever systematic racism exists, what you do is you have to get into the race of leadership and change the sphere and the you have to get in there and do it, and you have to do it diplomatically. I've done it on boards. I've done it as a shop steward. I've done it, uncovering corruption within the DeKalb County school system, in which I lost my job, but I did not care because guess what? We saved DeKalb County school systems. So, and it was a group of us parents who were on fire. So, regardless of what exists, the underpinnings, right? You have to study the underpinnings and go to challenge the underpinnings.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Let's keep this thing going. I'm gonna go to Ibrahim. Hadn't visited Ibrahim. Ibrahim, what did you say about that particular clip that we played, brother? What did you hear?
Well, I heard what I've been hearing. Am I going? Oh, anyway, I heard what I've been hearing most of my life and all the books I read from the great black people. Booker T. Washington mentioned that. On and on and on. And we've been hearing this for over 100-some years and longer, right? Now, what do we do about it? Race is a thing that caught the hand that we was built with. You got these cards on the table, right? Now, either you can integrate, which is a natural source of when cultures clash and come together, you integrate, or you can just totally assimilate, get everything that you are and assimilate into that culture and accept whatever comes to you, And I think in these days and time, we don't want to assimilate, but we are feeling the pains of assimilation. We're becoming more and more of the mainstream culture, the culture of our oppressors. And we weren't free in 1865. We were emancipated. Freedom comes responsibility of self. And we get this. Now, I can be, what's the difference between black power and white power? It's a comment. It's a commentary on their group and gaining power. Yeah, it's offensive, to black people. It might not be offensive as much as to some white people or most white people, but it's offensive, because they're in competition with us, and the decks have been built long before we came along. We had to go down to the basic roots and really determine who we are. And we accept these things. We don't accept the word white power, but we submit to it every day. We talk about jobs, and we talk about black business and black wealth, but all of it is integrated into this homogeneous society. We have to be like them. We have to be this. We have to do that, right? But yet, nobody has the courage since Du Bois, since Marcus Garvey, and Luther White implementing these things of independence, right? What do you do? What do you do for yourself? We're more concerned about what is owed to us and what should be given to us. We feel that entitlement for our suffrage of our great great grandparents. We don't really identify the suffering that we're going now, but the same things are evident. So we have become so much ingrained in society. That's all we want. If you want, when you talk about generational wealth,
30 seconds.
I don't hear that. But I hear I can hear generational power and influence. That's what these people did. We're too busy stuck on currency because that's what we've been trained to do. We don't see currency as abstract. So we don't understand the word power. We talk about the word power of being coming together, but we don't actually do that. We don't actually apply and do for ourselves. We have to bring everybody else into it to come to logic. And truth only stands by itself. A lie can be the truth, only stands by itself if there's no outside influences determining what to use as a balance, what's true and what's a lie.
Good deal.
So truth doesn't stand by itself. A lie stands by itself if that's the only thing you ever hear.
Absolutely. Good deal. Gonna keep this thing going, man. We're gonna definitely keep this thing going. We had another caller from the 770 area code. Caller, I was actually making my way back around to you. So if you get an opportunity to give us a call back, definitely want to hear what you have to say. But right now, Captain, that video talking about systematic racism. What did you hear?
Well, listen, it ain't nothing but the truth. I don't know that I was not tripped out by it. I've certainly been about this all my life. But it's fascinating when we hear again coming from, Europeans saying it. Now it's real. We can talk about it now because they say it, and it's always been real. I heard he talked about integration, simulation, but ain't nobody talk about separation. If you live in a society that you see systematic racism and you can't change it, it's going to be here. Then that's like a woman living in a house of abuse. Well, I'm not going to leave it. I got too much invested. I helped build this house, but you continue to accept the abuse, and he does not respect it, and he does not change. When do we get to the part? Separate. Is that just what we gave up? Yes, we did. We sure did. But if you don't see a change, what you do, you just keep saying, well, it is with it. I heard the sister make, yes, every one of us made some personal gain to change the way things is in our jobs. There wasn't no black people, but I fought. It wasn't for me. Now, not individual. But collectively, as a people, as a race, we ain't made no collective change. We can hear people keep talking about, do we want to separate? Oh, no. Separation, no, I don't want to separate. Why? Because separation requires not only responsibility, but separation also requires us setting new standards, rules, and govern our own behavior and how we're going to do this. After a while, this is what we do. So that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Good deal. Man, it's I know so many people that want to say some different things on this particular topic right here, man. Let me go back to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
God. Okay.
3 minutes.
And here on this great day of our Lord, December 12th, 1712, that I have a plan that will enslave your Negroes for the next 400 years if implemented properly. I ain't gonna go into the rest. I just gotta make some personal correction as to how I feel about things. Right? One, the truth is the one thing that can stand on its own. A lie never stands on its own. A lie, if you really look respectfully, I understood what Brother Ibrahim was saying, but respectfully, I have to disagree. Because if you look at every lie that was ever told, that lie was perpetuated with several other lies to go with it. When you look at systematic racism,
Hey, Kurt, you're fading out a little bit, brother. Curtis, you're fading out a little bit.
Morning. When you look at the idea of systematic racism, we know that it is engulfed in a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the implementation of systematic racism, it is supported by several other lies to go with it. Those lies that are given to support systematic racism are lies that go against one truth. The one truth is racism itself. The one truth is the denial of the average human being to a proper life, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the truth that every human has. We have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Every human being has that given to us by the grand creator.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Systematic racism is supported by several lies. If you have a group of Negroes, they're going to rob. If you have a group of Negroes, they're going to kill. If you have a group of Negroes, they're going to steal. If you have a group of Negroes, they're going to make babies. They're going to be deadbeat daddies. They're going to be strippers who always around a pole. They're going to be stealing. All that, man. That's all a part of systematic racism to not only denigrate a particular culture, but to set forth a motion that says that these people, how you doing, Spiel, are less than other people.
30 seconds. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. When we talk about integration, right, and we talk about assimilation, right, in my opinion, here's what happened. We fought for integration, but we never truly integrated. Why? Because the lie of assimilation came into play. The only way you can integrate is to assimilate, which is foolish.
Mm-hmm.
It's foolish in thought and it's foolish in the concept. Because once you assimilate, you're going to assimilate to something else. You're going to make changes to who you are to make something else happy.
Good
right?
deal.
Real
Good deal.
integration would have come, for example, if instead of us getting the voters' rights, the Civil Rights Act,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then
Wrap it up,
real
Curtis.
integration would have said, no,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to ratify a vote so that these people can have the right to vote. They're
Okay.
citizens, so we don't have to come back every 7 years to vote on their right to vote.
Okay.
They automatically have the right to vote, just like other Americans that we know about.
Okay, hold right there, Curtis.
So it's a
I
little
got
deeper.
it is. Don't go nowhere, Curtis. Don't go nowhere. Like you're well over the 3 minutes, but I wanted to give you a chance to finish your thought. But let me go. We got another caller from the 770 area code. 770 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Q. Lithonia.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
Q.
Okay, you're breaking up real bad on me, sir. I can barely hear you. Are you talking directly into the phone? Talk directly into the phone for me, please.
Q. Coleman.
Okay, Mr. Coleman, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, doing good. What's on your heart? Did you witness the video that I played, or if not, we're talking about systematic racism. What's on your heart concerning that?
Yeah, I saw the video. It reminded me when my mom used to tell me how they used to go out and pick cotton.
Mm.
It brought back a lot of memories. It brings up a thesis paper I did on Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois.
Mm-hmm.
One wanted to separate and one didn't want to separate. The Asians, the Chinese, even the rappers of today show you what the platform is. Even when they burned down Oklahoma's Black Wall Street. We have to break away financially from their independence. And the system they set up is so perfectly intact because you still have black people today stating that if you want something done right, you got to get the white man to do it.
Mm.
That's brainwashed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to break away from that. And it's hard to break away from it. The Asians show you, they come over here, Patels, all of them, they get together. One of the guys told me, he said they bring their family over here, they all live together. They work in the same shop. Then once they get enough money together, then they get one of the other family members a shop. And then they separate and some stay over there. And they keep building and they keep building and they keep building. You know, you've heard the saying, black crabs in a barrel. You can't tell black people what you're doing because they ain't gonna pray for you. They gonna wish you bad. And you know, it goes back to that saying I said earlier. If you want something done right, you gotta ask a white man. So it's the brainwashing that we have to separate ourselves from. Because once you get independence, that's when people, no matter what color they are, they have to respect you. Everybody has their own car. Black people, we don't even have our own car.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Germans got the BMW, and then the Italians got the Ferrari. What do we have? We have to get something that everybody needs.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are last shall be first. That's Bible. That's going into that. Because when somebody gets with somebody of another race, it's always the baby's black.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, this nation will be black. And that's why you got these racist people coming out now, because they're fearful that we are taking over. Yes, we are taking over. Anything we indulge ourselves in, we've taken over.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Hold right there.
Hockey will be all black one day.
Good deal. Hold right there, Ms. Coleman.
We excel.
Exactly. Hold right there, Ms. Coleman. We keep everybody at 3 minutes so we can get everybody in. Okay. So don't go nowhere. Stay right there, brother. I'll make my way back around to you. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Annette, what's on your heart, sis?
Well, you know, all of this is pretty interesting, but I'll tell you, we can blame this, we can blame that, we can say what is not, but I think what we have to say was, what is going to be the blueprint going forward? And I'll tell you, the blueprint going forward is leadership. The blueprint going forward is saying that, you know what, I'm going to create a place and I'm going to create a space and I'm going to create a network that has an ecosystem, right? That builds neighborhoods, that builds communities, that builds great narratives, that is not against each other, because each and every one of us has other nationalities within our family. So what do? You know, the only thing that I can say is we develop our communities, we develop what we don't have, and there's more that we do have than we don't have. And that's what people have to realize. You know what, that faith that you can't see, right? The only way that you can manifest it is you got to put some works to it. So now it's about getting in the grind and putting the works to it. I saw an article where Fannie Willis put Fulton County. Yes.
And I'm gonna pause your time, because I don't want to talk over your time, so I'll pause your time. I love what you said. You said we have to put the work in, and build up the community and different things of that nature. But what is the starting point? because in order for anything, the step of 10,000 miles start with one step. So what is that first step that we have to do to build up the community and take it back and go in a positive direction? I'm starting your time back up right now.
Okay, so the first step that we have to do is, what are the businesses in the area that pay 10% of their commercial taxes into your counties, right? Because part of that money is collected, and that's for revitalization for the communities. The second thing is you have to go to the bank. There are community reinvestment funds. You got to go to the banks within the communities and find out, where are your community investment funds going? So when we talk about systematic racism, how about we talk about systematic programming where there is money and we don't know where the money is, and we have to ask for the money because these entities get the money for communities and neighborhoods. So that's where we start, and then we begin to build our ecosystem of businesses, of facade development, of street improvement. But all of these are appropriations within budgets that we have to look at. You know, see, it's a numbers game here. We got to look at the numbers, and we got to see what's being appropriated and what is being authorized. And then we move from there to create these small ecosystems of what do people need in our communities that we can buy.
Okay, and let me ask you this question as well. And I love this conversation. And like I see, we got to extend it. We're actually going to extend this conversation till tomorrow, way out Wednesday, because I think it's something that we really need to talk about. So I stop your time. You got 55 seconds left. You saying go to the banks and stuff like that. Are we really, is that a roundabout way of saying, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be totally off base with what I'm about to say. Are you saying to depend on the very people that's creating this systematic racism that to get the money to fund what we're trying to do and build up our community? Are we to think that they're going to do that for us?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it's about relationship. Let me give you an example. Went to the bank in Tucker, right? Let me tell you, they had buoys. I mean, the corner looked crazy. They had just designed the city of Tucker, and you know, Tucker's moving. But the Wells Fargo looked crazy. I went into the bank. I said, look, and show me your community investment dollars, and then show me how you can better this corner. How about they went and they got their gardeners, they bettered this corner, they took down the buoys, they listened to my ideas. See, ideas make it work. We have to put ideas on paper. We just can't put ideas through thought process on the phone or through cash or whatever. We have to take our ideas and put them on paper and to provide the implementation. But yes, go to the bank. What are your community investment dollars? And guess what? Since we respond, guess what? You are violating the community reinvestment act. Okay, that's what you have to do.
Good deal. Good deal.
You have to be strategic. So if there's systematic racism, so-called on this side, what you have to do is you have to do systematic enforcement on your side.
Okay, good deal. I'm gonna go to Tucson, and Rico coming to you after that. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
And I didn't watch the video. I didn't get a chance because I got, But anyway, I don't mind, and I'm listening very carefully. But if I bring, just for instance, if I bring my car to you to fix it, don't you tell me when I went to take 2 blocks, I must have did something to it. See, what we have to do, that's good that we want to cater to our own. But you have to give a product that is quality. That's not a, and I'm not saying nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is a mindset that I've been brainwashed. If I want you to fix my roof in my house, it better not leak when I'm finished. When you finish, we want to go to the bank, but your credit bad. They're not gonna give you anything. You don't know how to talk to people. You got to get your communication skills straight. That's a ground thing that we all know that we got to do. Stop believing the lie, first of all. But when you stop believing the lie, everybody got a problem, but you don't have no solution to it. You got to have a solution to your problem, because when you get out there and you say, okay, I want to start a restaurant. Okay, you got to have a plan. But then when you open up the restaurant, your flow can't be dirty. And then you got somebody at the counter chewing gum and saying, "What you want?" I guess I'll go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
We
Wow.
have to present quality because we can do that. Because really everything that's created or invented, we know how to invent it. We just got to keep it in our hands and stop giving it away for a couple of dollars. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I think first, man, as far as we go, we have to understand the difference between systematic and systemic. With systematic, it follows a system. And when it's systemic, it's embedded. That means it's unconsciously there. And you can't even see it. You don't even realize it's there, but you're participating in it, making it successful, because that's just the way it is. So it's an unconscious thing that goes on. But Ibrahim Muhammad and Q Coleman said some very key words. And so, I think about, we have to crawl before we walk.
Mm-hmm.
First off, you even have to understand that systemic racism even exists. First off. Mm-hmm. Second off, in our community, maybe you have to realize that you are in a competition. See, Ibrahim said that key word, it's a competition. But see, how can you take somebody, I like what Annette was saying, but that's so far down the road, the economic side of things, that we don't understand that for you to compete, you have to have a team. You have to have unity to compete against systemic racism. And what we are seeing is going on, like Q Coleman said, you see the Patels, you see the Chinese, you see all these different ethnicities come over here and they pool together, they unite, and they live together and work together to compete in this system that is not created for them to succeed in, but for white supremacy. So now for us to try to make it in this system, we have to understand that we are competing and we have to unite and come together. Mm-hmm. But see, how can you take an indigenous person and put him in a cockpit of a jet and expect him to fly? See, we thinking way down the road about banks when we are talking to a community of people that compete against each other. We talk about black on black crime. Guess what? People competing against each other. We talk about the Willie Lynch. Well, part of that system was to give people access to little crumbs, and then those people in that community will fight and focus on those little crumbs. Mm-hmm. And they won't even look at the big picture because they have been mentally impacted by systemic racism. Mm-hmm. So I'm going back to what I said earlier. You have to go back and think about the mental impact of systemic racism and how some people don't even realize how it impacts them right now because they don't think it exists. They think racism and slavery was in the past. I can remember 10 years ago talking to young black men, and they were like, man, y'all think about that racism stuff. It ain't even like that no more. These white boys cool. Then George Floyd happened and Trayvon Martin happened, and all of a sudden they had a culture shock. Oh, you thought it was all sweet. You thought everything was cool. So if you don't understand that this element still exists, you won't unite. You can't unite. You don't understand you need to unite. Mm-hmm. So that, like I said, so we have to crawl before we walk. We have to come together, unite, understand that we are in a competition. History has shown us that this is a competition, but we refuse to fight the right opponents. We continue to embrace these crumbs and fight for these same crumbs, and therefore our competition is ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I was sitting here listening to some of the things that's being said, and I've had conversations with quite a few different people who are researchers and different things like that, especially on this topic. And one of the things that some of us seem to share similarly is when you look at classism and how folks in different classes treat other human beings. To me, the classism is why systematic racism exists. Because there are a lot of times where when certain people have a good bit of money, that the way they're viewed or particular types of expectations change or alter. As long as you're making those people money, the way they view you is it's still going to be the same, because to them we're all just numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we're not getting along, we're not going to be able to stop it. And in a lot of ways, to me, what I see a lot of is there are many, many things that are going on that keep us separated. Everything
Mm-hmm.
from systematic racism to people's views of what's an excuse, what's not. And it's infuriating, because even when I talk to younger people, they're like, there are people out there that, like, yes, there are evil people in this world that are racist and evil and all kinds of things, but I'm not going to let them stop me.
Mm-hmm.
So now, we're having to look at, a younger generation, even, among white kids that are like, we see that it exists, we're going to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of work in the process that
A lot of
isn't
work.
getting near enough time on media to
Mm-hmm.
show that there are a ton of people fighting it in their local areas and all kinds of things like that. And that's one of the things that, like, I really hope people understand, because how do you expect us to change what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And that's by, like, listen to our kids. If they're born into this world not being hateful towards somebody else, and they're learning it from the adults, it's the adults that are still keeping it alive.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we work on making sure the adults ain't?
Wow.
We
That's
have to
good.
change our mentalities. We have to, like, let's acknowledge that it exists and that there are people in this world that would rather keep people down than lift people up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's across the board. It don't matter if you're disabled, it don't matter the skin color or whatever. If you teach hateful thoughts, racism will never end.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. We're gonna go in this order right here. We're gonna go Willa, Cassandra, and Captain. Willa, what's on your heart?
So I was listening to the conversation when the young lady was talking before Tucson, and she was giving great information about going to the banks, opening up our own business, and kind of changing the idea, the way that people look at us as a culture. And then the system got us saying bad things about how we as a group will grow up on drugs or either in jail. Then Tucson came back and said, well, that was all a great thing, but if, you can't have a business if, I take my car and then the car is messed up, you don't want to do anything about it, or you get this young lady and she's chewing gum and talking to me with a bad attitude. So I was thinking about, and I laughed because I like to listen. So we, our own culture, have that systematic thinking that as a culture, we need a whole lot of education because of the fact that we got people in business right now that's matching what the system is saying.
Mm.
So ask yourself, everybody on here have had someone of a culture to do business with and saying right now, I don't never want to do business with them. They late.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do the job right. They come back late. I got a sister that she'll say, you know what? I'm not going to support us anymore because of our attitude, the way we do things.
Mm-hmm.
So I said that to say that, yeah, the system does exist, but sometimes we prove it with the things and the way that we act right here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You had I think you had a project that you was working on. Was it a bowling alley? Was it
No, it was a skating rink.
skating rink? Yeah.
Skating rink. And, yeah. And I was fired up after that. I promise you I was.
Mhm.
I started looking around at property in the area on the west side of Chicago
Mhm.
because I was going to get everything together. And I was waiting on this lawyer. I had even inquired with this lawyer about what steps that I need to take in order to get it started.
Mhm.
And I got a couple of people too involved with it because I am excited about it.
Yes.
So I haven't
Yes.
stopped, Raheem.
Good. Good.
Oh
Good.
no!
Good.
Then the last person I'm gonna talk to is Cat.
Absolutely. 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 It just
I
can't.
didn't forget him.
There you go. There you go. Because it definitely came to my heart while you was talking, and I wanted to ask you about that. I wasn't trying. I certainly don't want to put you on the spot or nothing like that, but it just came to my mind, so I wanted to ask you. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yes.
I love the idea that Annette presented, but the thing, it's a great idea. It's a great idea, but the bottom line is, for several reasons, it's hard for us to walk into I don't care what they got as far as their community money or whatever. It's hard to get Black community money into our Black hands. And yes, relationships are beautiful, but they want your credit score. They want, and not all, not even most Black people, but a lot of Black people, even ones that have great ideas, their credit score may not be where it needs to be. And pulling together, I love that idea. I've said it for years that other communities, they come together, they'll live in the same house, they'll do everything until everybody is straight. We have a problem doing that as well. So it's a lot of reasons. I think a lot of what has to be done for us, it has to be done internally with us, working on each other.
Yeah.
You understand? And working with each other and finding out how do we work together as a team, as a family, as a community to get ourselves moving forward. I would love to see it, and I try to work toward it. Leonard does as well. He has a lot of programs and stuff that he has a place that he works with to try to help our community. But we have to be the ones that actually push this thing forward and change our thoughts. And Tucson said something, you know, this used to be a pet peeve of mine, and I'm sorry, it still is. I used to hear Black people say, oh man, I had an accident. I'm gonna call one of them Jewish attorneys and what? They don't want Black doctors to use a Black doctor. They feel like they're inferior. We think that way, Raheem. Not other people saying that. We don't want Black, come on now. I'm just saying.
I remember Cassandra.
I'm just saying.
I remember an episode of Sanford and Son where Fred was going to the dentist, and he told Lamont before they left the house, "I want a white dentist. I want a white dentist." That was his whole idea. I had a white dentist. Went there and went through the whole shenanigan. The Black dentist came in there first and wanted to take a look. Fred wouldn't even open his mouth. White guy came in there first. Oh, here we go. Now we good. And he was, and come to find out, the same stereotype that he had about the Black dentist fit the white dentist to a T. And the dentist said, "Look, I got to go back there and get the master of surgery. He's this job is too complicated for me. Let me go get him. He gonna come in. He gonna take care of you." And here come the Black man. Wow, Cap, what's on your heart?
Well, I love this subject, and I think everybody learns so much to it. There was an experiment that was done, and I want everybody to put this experiment in their mind. They took a frog and put it into water, and they turned the water on to raise the heat. And long as that heat was coming up, that frog stayed in that water. Turn the heat up a little bit more, he stayed in the water. Turn the heat up a little more. Until when they turned the heat up to the point where the frog couldn't take it, the frog didn't get out, the frog died. Then they took the water that was boiling, and they threw the frog in the boiling water, and the frog tried to hop out of that boiling water. So what's my point? See, if you keep turning it up and giving up this, that, we become, as my man said, we assimilate after a while.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't seeing it, we just keep turning up. And eventually we are affected by it. But they slowly turn the knob, slowly. And to the point where it's not over. Racism is not over, or it's beginning to be over. But racism is systemic, it's covert.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it, but you're affected by it every day because they turn it up slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to come to, yes, we can be independent. Yes, but you can't be independent with Negroes. You cannot be self-sufficient with ignorant people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not for everybody. If I want to separate, I'm not going to separate with Negroes. I separate with black people. Somebody that I got to invest in interest, they want the nice things, they want culture, they want values, they want more. Yes, let us five over here, go over here, and let us create our own base. Let us create, and just keep it among ourselves until we got people educated enough to be able to appreciate self-sufficiency. And every group of people come in America, you got Korea, go in Queens. You see all the Korean banks.
Mm-hmm.
You go in Chinatown, go in the Jewish community. You can come in America and you can be independent within America. You can do it. We see it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, these people come from a base. They come from a base.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We don't have a base.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say, Donald.
Good deal. Good deal. Man, I'm looking at the clock and it's time to get out of here for today, man. This has been a great broadcast. Let me see. Tucson, what you say there, Tucson?
I love that dude, man. Can't, man. Look, man, I'm gonna walk with you, turn around and walk another mile, and we just keep on going all across America.
Good deal. Good deal. It's time. Actually, it's time for us to get out of here for today. Annette, are you still with us?
Of course, I'm still with you. Yes.
Okay. And then I want to, if you have anything on your heart, I'm gonna come to you, let you say what you want to say real quickly. Not 3 minutes. We're going to get out of here. So give me a quick version of it, and I'm gonna touch a few more people. But we're going to get back on this topic tomorrow on Way Out Wednesday. And then, are you available to come visit us tomorrow?
Yes, I'm gonna come visit you tomorrow because I think it's very important. You know, I always hear what we cannot do, but let me tell you, we have a historical nature of great exploits. So you know what? I'm not buying the hype. You know what? We are a resilient people, and when we work together with other nationalities, there's nothing that we can't do. It's amazing, and that's what I will say. But you got to understand capitalism. You got to understand business. You have to understand housing. You have to understand community. You have to understand healthcare. You have to understand systems. The United States of America works as a system. Okay. And so I look forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely. I look forward to it as well. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Quick version.
I agree, man. I mean, we definitely got to have this conversation. I think everybody hit it on the head. You know, they expressed it better than I could. You know, this is a mental thing. We have to understand that it exists, even in forms that we don't realize. We have to understand what it takes. You know, because we can accomplish good things, but like Ibrahim said, you know, if we focus too much on the currency and we don't even have the system in place to compete like other ethnicities, then we're not going to do what we need to do. So we need to start from the grassroots, from the ground up, and start from a good foundation of getting this thing in order.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, Mr. Hicks, how long you been in here, man? Mr. Hicks done snuck in on me. I ain't even see him. Mr. Hicks, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, right here. Doing fine. Couldn't sleep well last night. Slept late today.
Oh, okay. I ain't see you sneak in, brother. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
I'm glad we're going to cover this subject tomorrow. I think that getting to the beginning of things, to the very origin of things, is part of solutions. And I think that Darwin's theories of evolution and special races that was included in the title. It's the dilemma of us trying to figure out where did the races come from. Now there are many discoveries on it, but that's the basic. Where did the whole concept of race come from? And until we can go and destroy that whole concept of survival of the fittest, it's going to keep going. That's what the origin, I believe that, because it's saying that scripture, going back to the book now, said that we had outside influence. We had outside influence from someone outside of this world. And they came outside this world and affected us with all of these problems we're having now, and they're behind it. I think that was a lot of recent revelations about UFOs and alien presence. It's got to be included in this.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Badger, quick version, brother. What's on your heart?
I really end up learning how to get along. There is so much in this world that doesn't want us to progress, not only individually but as a collective, that we need to learn not to let other people or the system control us as communities.
Good deal. Good deal. Curtis, quick version, brother. Anything on your heart?
No. Listen, the sister said something that is so evident in American culture and the design of America. She said that America is set up on a system, and we don't understand the system. But I'm going to add to that, since we're going to talk about this tomorrow. We have to address the fact that we have been kept out of a system that America has set up. And even to this day, those who do know the system are being put in a position to have to decide, if I tell the truth, the system will remove me.
Wow.
If I exist outside the parameters of the truth, or if I exist outside the parameters of the system will delete me. So the bigger question in my mind is, are we willing to sacrifice the deletion from the system and have nothing to gain it all?
Wow.
I love y'all. I'm hoping that God bless me with the strength, the courage to be on the line tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I thank you for bringing this topic up. But this is a topic that must be had so we can get away from all those people that want to say every time there's an issue, they pull up a race card. Why is it bad for us to pull up a race card when every time there's a situation and a circumstance, you pull the race card? Your system is designed around the very same card that we try to stand on.
Good deal. Curtis, save some for tomorrow. Curtis, save some for tomorrow. Listen, we about hold on, everybody. We got it's 10:09. If you got something to say real quickly, because we got to get out of here.
Hey, right here. Another thing is, a lot of times when you build business, you might not make any money initially, but you're scaling up and you're building. It's a process. So you have to be prepared for that process. And I can't wait to talk to you about it tomorrow, because I put a year in with a business that is scaled up. Now it's a women business enterprise. It's eligible for set-asides within the federal government. But let me tell you, you got to put in the paperwork and you got to put in the work.
Absolutely. Well, we are about to get out of here. Everybody come on as early as you can tomorrow. We're going to start off with this topic. As a matter of fact, this is probably going to be our only topic that we talk about tomorrow, because there's so many different layers. But I want you all to do me one favor. Come with your absolute truth tomorrow. Take your gloves off. It's going to be bare knuckles tomorrow. Bare knuckles. So let's tackle this thing. And we're going to deal with the first half. We're going to talk about everything that's going on. And then the second half, I want to talk about solutions. What's going on? How can we get to some kind of solutions? What can we do collectively to get to a point of a solution? Captain, real quickly, what's on your heart? Cap, you there? think we may have lost him. Rico, what's going on? Where you at, Rico? Rico, you there? Rico stepped away from the doggone computer. Got to my, let me see, Cassandra. There you go. Rico, what's going on? Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. Tomorrow is Way Out Wednesday. Promise you, it's gonna be Way Out Wednesday tomorrow. Because we're gonna tackle this topic. We're gonna tackle it head on.
Tomorrow actually should be way amazing.
Yeah, way amazing. Why you say that, brother?
Because, man, I mean, I think we're getting down to the nitty gritty of what we need to do to become like other communities that are actually succeeding along with each other in unison together. And what it takes, that those family structures that exist in other communities that we don't see in our communities, you know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of rich and excellent people, but we still got a lot of things that we missing out on, and we got to get in order to achieve those things. Yeah. So I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a lot of revelation and voila moments, you know, a lot of mental revolution going on.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. But let me ask y'all a question, man. Is she here? Anybody seen her?
Well,
anybody? Who, say it again.
Well, where you at?
No, you got working on that skating rink already, man. She might have had to get off to go work on that skating rink, man. She give us a little time, just a little bit of time.
Come on, Rocky. Let's go.
But look, you got to say it like this though. Willow. Willow.
Let's go, Raheem.
Are you ready? Well, you know what, Willow.
I am ready. Lord knows I'm ready. I'm ready, Raheem. Let's go.
Well, you know what, Willow? You know what?
Let's all be on one accord this morning.
Absolutely.
Let's all be on one accord in our hearts. Because we're going before the throne this morning with boldness and expectations on tomorrow. We are asking God that He be in the midst of what we're talking about tomorrow. We're going to bring on a change, not ourselves, but we know that it's the power of God that's going to bring the change in His mind, in the minds of His people. This is what we're asking.
Absolutely.
We're asking that God is going to keep us together tomorrow. We're asking that God is not going to allow the enemy to come in with any confusion, any disagreement. We will be on one accord. There'll be amazing and miracle things happening. Father, we thank you already for it. We believe it. We believe that you already got it set in place. We've gathered the knowledge. Now we're asking you for the understanding, the wisdom, leading us on the right trail, that we'll come up with something that you put in place. We thank you, Lord, for the plans that you've given Raheem, that you've given the Morning Glow, that you're going to act and allow the Holy Spirit to direct us, guide us, and lead us in the right way. We thank you so much for what you've done and what you've already done in Jesus' name. Amen. We thank you, Lord, for it. Thank you, Lord, for the Holy Ghost. Thank you for the power. We thank you, Lord. Lord, I just thank you. I thank you for it, Lord. I see your vision. I thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Cassandra Green.
Yes, sir.
Cassandra Alexander Green. Maybe I need to say all of them. What's on your heart right now, sis?
No, I'm just ecstatic about the conversation and where it's headed, and I'm so looking forward to tomorrow. And can I just ask y'all to pray for me, because I'm now waiting for Mary J. Blige's team to arrive at my house to finish up the documentary. So I really need prayer, because this can impact a lot of people.
Mhm.
So I'm just asking for prayer for that. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Willa. Please keep me in your prayers today. Rico, all of y'all, please just pray, because this can be life changing, not just for me, but for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And she has two of the ministers to pray. She has Minister Willa and Minister Rico.
Yes. Yes.
I'm ready. I got it. I'm ready.
You look. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Look, do your head like that. Exactly. Listen, man, I can't wait for tomorrow. Everybody, please come on as early as you can tomorrow. I'm gonna start off tomorrow with the video that we played today. We're gonna start it out with that. We're gonna play that video, and then we're gonna go right into the conversation. And so, Rico, how you doing, Rico? But listen, man, this has been a great broadcast. I want to thank. And let me see. Yeah, Badger. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she is. And I want to thank everybody. It is now, what is it, 10:17. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:17. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from Real Men, from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love.
World that
You
we live
just
in.
might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Go ahead, Rico.
You might as well go ahead and tell them about Real Men being men tonight.
Yeah. I might as well go ahead and say from 8 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates, Real Men Being Men. Y'all need to join in, be a part of that from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. Love each and every one of you all. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. God say the same. Love you.